wanting people to listen. You can't just tap them on the shoulder anymore. You have to hit them with a sledgehammer. And then you'll notice you've got their strict attention.
So your murderers come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who have cared for you all of your life, and they always seem to come at a time when you're at your weakest and most in need of their help.
But here's my advice to the rest of you. Take dead aim on the rich ones. Get them in the crosshairs and take them down.
I'm ready. Let's do it right now, right here. Come on.
All right.
I love you.
I love you, honey bunny.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you pricks move! And I'll execute every last one of you!
I generally come in at least 15 minutes late. After that, I just sort of space out for about an hour. I just stare at my desk. But it looks like I'm working. I do that for probably another hour after lunch, too. I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work.
The whole world gone crazy! Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules? Market zero! You think I'm fucking around here, market zero? Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! You lousy son of a bitch! If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a double-cross artist!
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
I want that son of a bitch dead. I want him dead. I want you to get this fuck where he breathes. I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his ass.
Kick this ass for a man, that's all. Kick my ass. Enjoy. Come on. I'm not asking, I'm telling with this. Kick my ass.
Just say the first thing that pops into your mind. You sold me a crummy watch. I want my money back.
You know what you can do with that watch? Stick it up your ass.
Good.
It's a mystery! It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma! Don't you get it? Fuck, man!
It's still real to me, damn it!
you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Ron and Fez show. I'm Ron, there's Fez.
Hiya, buddies.
Lost the big one over the weekend, Fez. From the Breakfast Club, the principal has died.
Paul Gleason, 67 years old. That was the actor's name. Of course, he played Principal Richard Vernon.
Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it is we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make an essay telling us who we think we are. You see us as you want to see us, in the simplest terms, in the most convenient definitions. But we found out that each one of us is a brain and an athlete and a basket case and a princess and a criminal. What a hacky movie, and everybody has seen it a million times over. He made the movie, I think. I think if you're really to say what brought those kids together, it was really the bad principal with the toilet paper hanging down.
Scary as a principal. I mean, and I don't think he ever played a good guy.
Well, he was the goofus. He wasn't, like, really a problem. You want more? Yeah. You know, he was not really shaking them up. He was just like the asshole principal that either you had or you wished you had. Nobody really wants a nice principal in high school. All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Earl, who did you really identify with in the Breakfast Club?
Oddly enough, the brain.
Really? Because you couldn't make the elephant? The elephant knows.
I don't know why. I initially thought I was okay. The jock might be, he's more than what everyone perceives him to be. But I was like, I'm not the brain.
I thought of you more as the custodian, the kind of nice, kindly custodian, who later we found out, a picture was up there, as being a valedictorian. How he fell from valedictorian to mopping up puke around the school, they never really let on.
Where the brain was your best friend, actually, Earl. The one kid that would talk to you.
Who are you, Fez?
Princess.
Yeah, sure. Eating sushi at lunch. No one takes sushi to school. You don't have to go to those extremes to try to prove yourself. Dave, who would you have been?
I thought of myself as the Judd Nelson character, but I was probably the Anthony Michael Hall character.
I don't even think you were that. I think you were the basket case. Sitting there drawing dumb pictures and then having your dandruff show up as snow.
If Dave was anyone, it was the kid who got his buns taped together.
Hey, let's go to the phones here. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here's Ron. Ron, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How you doing, buddy?
You there, buddy?
Yep.
Go ahead, pal.
Hey, Ron and Fez.
Yeah.
I want to find out who is the better principal, who you think, Breakfast Club or the guy from Ferris Bueller?
Ferris Bueller. Wow, that's a tough one. Two great character actors, two guys who never really got out of that character role. I'm gonna, even though I feel bad about the death and all, I got to go with the Ferris Bueller principal.
Ed Rooney.
Rooney, you're an asshole.
I don't even know Ed Rooney's real name.
Ed Rooney. He actually is named Ed Rooney.
And Ed Rooney as Ed Rooney.
For me, the funniest thing in the whole Ferris Bueller that Ed Rooney did is when he acted like he was a pitcher and he was throwing that paper, but he wound up like it was 1890, and then threw that just girl toss.
I liked it when the secretary told him he sounded like Dirty Harry, and he just was so grateful. Thanks, Grace.
Ed Rooney ended up being the kid toucher, right?
Yeah, he was taking pictures of a 16-year-old boy naked. So he's on some sort of probation. I think he's in Deadwood now.
Is he? Let's see. Dave, you're a big Deadwood fan. Is Ed Rooney in Deadwood?
Yeah, Ed Rooney plays, he runs the newspaper in Deadwood. He's such a great character. It's unbelievable.
Is he still playing Ed Rooney?
No, this is a much different character. He was also in a lot of the Tim Burton movies, too. He was in Sleepy Hollow. He was really creepy in Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, he works a lot. The guy actually gets to work a real lot, but he'll never get a starring role. And obviously he'll never get the girl. They just never let any of those guys get a chick.
You know, in Deadwood, he's almost prissy in a lot of ways. He's like
that's shocking.
He's the newspaper editor and the photographer, and he rides the bike with a really big wheel on it.
I thought he was the principal at Deadwood High.
Those principals see each of us the way they wanted to see us, as a brain. Or the athlete. The princess. The criminal. Just, it was so fucking bad that it was great. It was so absolutely bad. It was terrific. Russ, you're on Fez.
Yeah, hey, that guy on the Breakfast Club, he wasn't the principal. He was just a teacher there covering the detention.
Oh, I thought he was the principal covering the detention.
No, the whole segment's no good now.
All right, hold on. Throw it over to Fezzy. Fezzy?
I think he was the principal.
No, well, go watch the movie.
I think it was Principal Richard Vernon.
All right, we're going to check into it. If you're wrong, Russ, we're going to have your XM service canceled. That's how serious we are about this.
With no refund.
Hey, Cody, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy boy.
Ed Rooney was in the movie Ravenous. If you ever saw that flick, he kicked ass. And,
no, I didn't.
Dave, I don't know if you can identify with anybody because they didn't have Irish gays in Breakfast Club.
What's your poison? Tequila. I swear to God, the basket case was Dave. There's no doubt in my mind that he was the weirdo basket case in school, still bragging about his JV numbers. That's basket case stuff.
He was the one writing his poetry, that's for sure.
Tim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ed Rooney was in Mom and Dad Saved the World. He was the star. He was Dad. And then he got the girl.
All right, this really kills me because Paul Gleason died, yet everybody wants to talk about Ed Rooney today. It's really like you show up at a funeral and hear another guy being talked about. Here's Tom. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ed Rooney was on Howard the Duck. He played the Warlock, greatest movie ever, if you don't remember.
So many Ed Rooney fans. So many of these 80 movies fans.
Gleason was the principal. He was Principal Vernon. Principal Vernon.
Thank you, basket case. You know something? I noticed after Earl gave you a little cleanup, you look a lot better.
My hair, I kind of parted it today, rather than...
You parted it, and you're looking like $1 million.
You put on makeup, see?
Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, he was the principal. That jackass needs to go watch the movie himself.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much. We're going to calm it down, where everybody is going to just calm it down a little bit.
Everyone's a little upset over losing Paul Gleason.
Sure, we got talking about these 80s movies, Fez, and nothing beats them. And a lot of those guys, it seemed like they worked hard all through the 80s, and then it seemed like life got tough on them in the 90s. There was no place for a two-dimensional character in the 90s.
When the John Hughes run ended, so did their careers.
What happened with John Hughes? What's the last thing that he did?
I couldn't tell you. I really don't know.
I know it went, like the Home Alone things he produced, but I don't know what was the last really big thing that he did. Hey, Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Gleason, didn't he also play in Johnny Be Good?
Yeah, he was the bad coach in Johnny Be Good. Basically, it was the same guy. He moved over. He couldn't be trusted.
And he wore the same bad suit.
Yeah, it was always he wanted an ill-fitting suit and to be tugging at his butt crack.
And, hey, listen, guys, my bone. Appreciate it. Old school.
Now, thanks very much, bro. Johnny Be Good, also one of those really bad 80s movies where we're supposed to believe that the brain from Breakfast Club was somehow the best quarterback in the country by the time he was in the other school.
I remember Uma Thurman was in that movie. Really young Uma Thurman. She played the girlfriend.
Yeah, she was like 16, 17 at the time. And to me, peaked in Johnny Be Good. Never got better for her.
But you're right. That was the start of the downfall of Anthony Michael Hall's career, where he played against type, where he never should have been the popular kid.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here is George. George, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I was going to say the other principal, the Gleason guy. He was also the suck-ass cop in
Die Hard.
It was almost like the principal from Breakfast Club showed up to say everything wrong to Bruce Willis. He started treating Bruce Willis like he was John Bender. It drove me crazy.
Was the toilet paper hanging out his ass.
Yeah. Here is Dave. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez. Go ahead, Dave.
Hello?
Yeah, buddy.
Ed Rennie was also the father in Beetlejuice.
The twitchy father, where Fez was the interior decorator in that and did a wonderful job. No one ever even brings that up.
So they put me in an awful suit.
Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, boys, Paul Gleason was also in Trading Places. He was Clarence Beeks.
Pretty much playing the same kind of don't trust him, bad guy, bad corporate guy. He always was that kind of guy that you can't trust at all. But somehow he rose to the ranks of some kind of responsibility. Frank, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Yeah.
I just want to know your favorite 80s film, any genre, what your favorite was.
Well, when you say 80s film, you really mean teen comedy. You're not going to suddenly yell out, Platoon was better. So when you say...
Predator was pretty cool.
But that's also cheesy, so I have no problem with a Predator. But what I'm talking... Yeah, when you're talking about 80s movie, you're not talking about a film. It's cheating to yell out Das Boot. Let's face it, you really mean something in the way of Breakfast Club. And if you had to go through all those kinds, Fez, what would your favorite be?
My absolute favorite, 16 Candles.
16 Candles was, it was a laugh a minute. You're not going to get it beyond that. They had a laugh a minute there for you.
I love the donga. I love the oily bohunk.
Whatever happened to the beautiful boyfriend in 16 Candles? I don't know if we've ever seen him again. The last time we seen him, he was sitting on that glass table giving back her undies.
The only other thing I saw him in was like an True Hollywood Story about 16 Candles.
Earl, do you have that song from 16 Candles? I know we've played it on the air before, but it's a real 80s just background music, that synthesizer sound that the 80s were known for, as they just sat there eating that stupid cake together.
After she helped him clean up his house.
Wasn't that Talk or something like that?
No. It was much less known than Talk. This thing is barely known. Never really became a hit outside.
I know what you mean. I'm drawing a complete blank on it.
I'll give something away if anybody can come up with the song. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. We'll send you into the prize closet. The 80s queen, Fezzy, in all of these films.
Molly Ringwald.
Did anyone ever get it through their head that Molly Ringwald was not attractive? Did it once ever dawn on any of these kids that she wasn't the chick to go for? And I don't think there's a school in America where that would be, basically if Eastside Dave let his hair grow, is Molly Ringwald. And yet for some reason you let on that she was hot. Hey, Adam, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, going on a little tangent here. I like the reporter in Die Hard, the obnoxious guy. He was in Real Genius as an obnoxious professor there.
Real Genius, one of the really overlooked 80s films. I will watch it every single time just to watch that house blow up from popcorn. But that guy was also in Scrooged, the guy that you're talking about. He was the guy who took Bill Murray's job. And he was just evil personified, but not evil where he's taken over the world. Just evil enough to be running some little corporate thing.
John Glover is his name, and he was also the corporate guy in Gremlins 2. I think his name was Clamp. It was supposed to be like a takeoff of Donald Trump.
All of those 80s guys were just amazing. One after another. You couldn't beat them. Here is Fred. Fred, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Maha's all my brothers.
Maha.
I think, John, you guys were asking about what happened to John Hughes. Didn't he go and do those really just shitty Baby Genius movies? Made a lot of money off of just idiots watching that crap?
I know that the guys made a lot of money. And let's face it, if there was ever something that called out, to be able to do the reunion show for Breakfast Club would be the smartest script he could ever write, where we bring them back and found out what happened to them and see that society is just as difficult as a school.
And I think you could get all of them.
Of course you can get all of them. You could get all of them for about $15 an hour. There's not one of them that went on and did well. Here's Pat. Pat, you're on Ron and Fez.
How you doing today, guys?
Yeah.
Just want to let you know, Paul Gleason reprised his role as the principal in Not Another Teen Movie. He played a spoof of himself from The Breakfast Club, and also was the dickhead dean at the end of Van Wilder as well.
Always playing that role. Now, it was interesting when I was reading about him. His wife was saying he was just the funniest, sweetest guy in the world. Wherever he was a party. And I'm like, I just can't believe it. I cannot believe that he's not the asshole guy from Breakfast Club.
Someone needs to fix these phones so Ron and Fez can do their show. Every fucking time they get something good going, the motherfucking telephones keep on blowing up. Every fucking time they get something good going, the motherfucking telephones keep on blowing up. Why won't Wiki fix the telephones? Why won't Wiki? Why won't Wiki? How can you build a pyramid without the callers calling in? How can you give out a big ass prize to losers like me who have no life? The Ron and Fez Show on XM Radio. Ron and Fez Show on XM Radio. Fez Show 202, channel 202. Every fucking time they get something good going.
All right, we'll try to get those fixed just as quick as we can. All right, Fez, you have made up your mind now. Your favorite 80s movie.
16 Candles, hands down.
For me, there's no hands down. It's a complete toss-up, or maybe happens to do with any certain day of my life. But you ever see, like, when TBS will run 3 of them in a row with commercials, and you still end up sitting through them? What is it for you, Earl, if you had to go back to those 80s movies?
It would probably be either Pretty in Pink.
Great movie, great song.
Because you can identify with Ducky.
By the way, when I say great movie, I mean great piece of shit, cheesy, stupid movie. Don't get that confused with when you normally mean something's a great movie. And it is a real strong one. And then I know Dave tells me he cries at Dirty Dancing, whereas she was able to make that leap. There's nothing funnier than the fact that in Dirty Dancing we wait all that time to see if someone will jump into someone else's arms. No one brings up Crossroads, which, come on, guys. You're going down to the Crossroads to learn how to play guitar.
I remember my friends were so mad at that movie. I mean, my really hardcore African, Afrocentric friends were furious. They were throwing stuff at the screen because remember at the end, he gets saved by playing like European music.
Right, it was very odd. And Steve Vai, there was no black people involved in the Crossroads at all anymore. It was all just young white guys. What about Valley Girl? No one ever brings up the Romeo and Juliet update. Valley Girl. Do you really pick kind of a mainstream punk or new wave? The music that separated them was so closely identified, I honestly believe it was the same genre.
And they tried to make, what was that girl's name? Deborah Foreman. They tried to make her sort of like Molly Ringwald.
Who's that, the blonde chick?
Yeah.
I thought she was so much more fuckable than Molly. I'm going to tell you right now. I would have followed her to the ends of the world. And somehow she was in Real Genius, and written, 99% of her part had to be written out.
Also, St. Elmo's Fire.
She wasn't in St. Elmo's Fire, but she did another big one. I'm trying to think what it was, and I'm lost on it. St. Elmo's Fire was basically the Breakfast Club kids grown up.
Yeah, after they're getting out of college instead of high school.
Living in Georgetown and finding out that they're working for senators and writing for the Washington Post. Not only is this kid, he just gets out of college, he gets a column which is basically just his thoughts, and it ends up on the front page of the Post. Pretty goddamn annoying.
And Rob Lowe is the musician playing that just awful sax.
It's getting pretty out of hand up there, Earl. It's getting pretty out of hand. Just playing really bad backup sax.
My favorite line in that whole thing is, I never thought I could be 22 and so tired.
I love the fact that Rob Lowe, at the end of it, caught a bus to New York to follow his sax dream. How many sax jobs are there in New York? It's just, they're not looking for it, Rob.
Yeah, in the middle of the 80s where everything is going computerized.
he acted like
left and right.
Yeah, he acted like when he got off that bus it was going to be New York 1948. You're in the same problem. They have DJs at the clubs.
Anytime I move into a new apartment, I fix myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, though.
Well, you probably do that every day. That's why you ended up in the problems you did. Here's Pete. Pete, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Ed Rooney, Dean of Students, not the principal.
Is there really a difference, though? Come on, let's meet me halfway here. Meet us halfway. Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, fellas, I know rarely do you guys make a mistake, but I just want to point out that the guy from Scrooge that replaced Bill Murray when he lost his job was not the same guy from Die Hard, the reporter. It was actually the guy that was the reporter in Die Hard was actually the redhead asshole from Ghostbusters who was trying to shut down the Ghostbusters operation.
Yeah, another guy who always played the bad guy, right?
Exactly.
Walter Peck.
Peck, I think his name.
Yeah.
Walter Peck from the...
And he has no dick. All right, these are the same calls that we had when we blew up. We had the phones are just completely down, right?
Yeah, they're shot right now.
Does anyone get alerted, or they're worse now than they used to be before they fixed them?
Because now they don't come back.
They used to bounce back.
Mars is on it, and he's also alerting DC of the problem.
It's always something. Always something here. Good basketball over the weekend. And the Miami Heat, in my opinion, shocking the world right now. They're up 3-1 over the Pistons and looking like $1 million. You watch any of the games at all, Earl?
Yes, yesterday was just a beatdown, really.
It really was a beatdown.
Surprisingly, also.
Yeah.
Because the Pistons are always very defensive-oriented, especially now in the playoffs. Could not stop Wade. It was double and triple teaming him, couldn't stop him.
Wade has been the star of this, probably the whole playoffs. Here's the thing that's cool, though. The Pistons, they can hold the team to, 85-90, which normally would be great defense, but they can only score 75. You just got to put the ball in the goddamn hole every once in a while.
Yeah, no one's stepping up and, saying, hey, give me the ball, I'm going to shoot. I mean, and Wallace, who they're depending on, has been ice cold this series.
Tonight is Phoenix, Dallas?
Phoenix, Dallas, and must win for Phoenix.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Fez, Greg from Buffalo wants you to reverse the curse. As soon as you said you would back the Buffalo Sabres, they went on a losing streak, and they're one game away from getting knocked out.
Oh, so whoever they're playing, that's what I'm rooting for now.
Corey, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Hey, buddy.
I believe I know the song you're looking for from 16 Candles. I think it was Thompson Twins, Wish You Were Here, or If You Were Here.
That, I know it had Wish You Were Here in it, or If You Were Here, something, as they sat there eating that bad cake together. Earl, look for it. I didn't know it was Thompson Twins, though.
I think it's a Thompson Twins song.
Earl, what have you got, buddy?
No, they only have the hits in here, like Doctor Doctor and Holds Me Now.
This would be a hit. We used to have 80s soundtracks. Do we have them at work anymore, Fez?
We should have that CD around somewhere. It's like songs from all the 80s teen films.
I think I found it, right?
I'm still wondering. This sounds like every 80s song right now. This is definitely it. As they sit there, they blow off her sister's fucking reception and sit on top of a table. She gets her underwear back, and they split a cake. while your sister runs off with an oily bow hunk. You're going to the big-ass prize closet, Corey. What's your win, Fez?
We're going to get
fantastic.
you a DVD copy of Now You See It by Harry Shearer, and you also receive a copy of his CD, Dropping Anchors. For more information about Harry Shearer's DVD and CD, you can go to harryshearer.com.
Can we give him something else, Fez? Just build that up a little more.
We'll also give you a special edition of Napoleon Dynamite on DVD, courtesy of Fox Home Video. That's in stores now.
I just say that because I actually watched the Shearer stuff. And I just really feel like not enough on its own. Nice man, but someone wants to feel like a lucky winner for coming up with Thompson Twins. Yeah, I don't think this got any radio play at all.
Wasn't the sister in the movie, she was like high on muscle relaxers or something?
Yeah, she was so fucking hot, too. She was 80s hot.
And the little kid from Kramer versus Kramer was the obnoxious little brother.
Oh, yeah. Although he had put on a ton of weight. Eric, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, I don't know if you guys saw this. VH1 is promoting, I think it's next month, that they are doing a covering of all the 80s soundtrack music, or it seems to be mostly all 80s soundtrack music and a lot of the 80s movies.
Oh, sounds great.
I just saw a promo for it over the weekend. Hey, and Ronnie, I got to agree with you.
Oh, I lost you. Say it again, bro.
Followed her to the end of the earth.
Who's that?
Deborah Foreman.
Okay, thank you very much. Dale, you're running Fez.
Hey, guys. You guys remember that movie, The Outsiders, with, I don't know, Macho and, who else? Dylan and, C. Thomas Howell and all them guys?
Yeah, that was a huge one, The Outsiders. We talk about that one all the time. That was the Stay Gold Pony Boy. Stay Gold was the big Stevie Wonder hit in that film. I haven't stopped crying since I've seen that film. When I just think that Pony's left with his two best friends gone, even though I don't think he liked Matt Dillon all that much, it still seemed to break him up a little bit.
When they went on the lam after Leif Garrett got killed, I never understood why Ralph Macchio just got a haircut and Ponyboy had to actually get a bleach job.
Well, no one was going to know him with the haircut. And Ponyboy turning his hair pink, perfect disguise. Perfect disguise. And they would have got away with it, too, if those kids wouldn't started burning up.
I saw this movie over the weekend, absolutely adored it, and I think it might be one of Coppola's best films, Rumblefish.
Rumblefish was actually too good to be thrown in with the rest of them. That's the great Mickey Rourke. And Matt Dillon was kind of going to be his new thing. He was pushing Matt Dillon constantly, Coppola back then. But, I guess Matt Dillon's still working, still doing well.
People forget how good Mickey Rourke was.
I don't, Earl. I don't. I told you already. I think he's the artist of the 80s. I would love for you to get him in here. Seriously.
No, I would love to have Mickey Rourke on. We could track him down.
Track him down? He's right down the street. I saw him not too long ago. It's about 1.5 miles from here. Track him down.
Still has a little chinchilla.
Fez, what's your name?
Oh, Chihuahua. I'm sorry.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A dog.
I don't know why you feel like it turned into the Earl Show 5 seconds ago and you could just start rambling crazy talk. Hey, Shane, you're on Ron and Fez.
Buddy.
Hey, buddy boy.
Love the Ron and Fez. Listen, Ed Rooney, man, played in Who's Harry Crumb. He played the sleazy, his boss there for the private eye agency there.
You know, we really didn't even bring up how many of those 80s movies John Candy was in. He would, any kind of vacation ripoff, you were looking at John Candy.
Summer Rental. And what was the other one where they were in the woods with Dan Aykroyd?
The Great Outdoors.
The Great Outdoors.
Summer Rental, great movie because it looked like it got made for a quarter and ended with a boat race where I honestly think every boat is standing still. No boat moves in the famous boat race.
That movie went from being so much fun to all of a sudden it's a lot of boat shots and a lot of shots of them fixing the boat. It's like, all right, we ran out of gags. Let's just do a boat montage now.
I had no idea that you thought it was fun in the beginning. There's something hypnotic about those 80 movies that you can't turn off. Fun? I don't know. Brent, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah.
Hey, how about Weird Science with that great piece of 80s ass, Kelly LeBrock?
Oh, yeah. Kelly LeBrock, who now was on Fat Camp and goes about 280. And again, she claims that she doesn't want men to look at her anymore, and I think she's proven her point. I think it's all her little plan has worked out for her. Hey, Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, buddies. What's up? 25272.
Hey, buddy boy.
Hoo-ah! Hey, what about Flamingo Kid ending with the big gin rummy game at the end? What was that, Dylan?
There was something about the 80s, and I think probably you would have to go back, and the Bill Murray movie probably started it. That summer camp movie, what was that? Meatballs, where you had to end everything with some kind of, all right, whoever wins this gets the deed to the house. For whatever reason. Flamingo Kid.
Win.
Yeah. Flamingo Kid was also the start of that. Hey, money is really important, kids, so make sure you get a gig and you're always thinking about money. Michael J. Fox kind of picked up on that, too.
The Meatballs movies, the sequels, just went insane after the first one, to where the last one actually had like an E.T. alien in it.
Yeah, they never went back into the theaters except for the first one. After that, they were straight to tape. Michael, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
I have two movies that I never turn off from the 80s. One is Vision Quest, Matthew Modine.
Vision Quest is probably too good to throw into this shit pile with the rest of them.
The other was Pump Up the Volume, Christian Slater.
Now you're talking. Pump Up the Volume, Christian Slater.
DJ fighting against the man who's the principal.
Now that may even be a 90s movie. That might even be like a 91, 92. But it definitely is in the 80s movies feeling.
Hard Harry Hard-On, or whatever it was. That was his character's name.
Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hey, I was just going to say Stand By Me. Is that 80s or early 90s?
Stand By Me is 80s. And again, probably too good to throw in with the rest of the garbage ones. That's actually a good film.
What about, remember The Sure Thing with John Cusack?
Absolutely, yeah. That's perfect for it.
It's like that bad cross-country music. Like, first they hate each other, then they fall in love.
Remember the blonde girl that they were going across, and she was like...
it was Nicolette Sheridan.
Very good call. I thought I was going to stump you on that. Because she was so young in that. And now she's like the oldest woman in the world.
Did anyone ever see Midnight Madness? It was an 80s movie. It's like one of the greatest 80s movies because it had a Revenge of the Nerds guy. It had Michael J. Fox. It had the guy from American Werewolf in London. And the whole premise was people going on this massive scavenger hunt. The jocks, the nerds, like the cool guys.
I never even heard of this film.
Oh, Midnight Madness. And it's one of the best 80s movies of all time. Cameos by Paul Rubens and everything. I'm telling you, it's great.
All right, 1980 it came together. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
So the stuff that you're talking about, none of these people would have they couldn't have been cameos. They were actually just working it.
Right. That's what was weird is that, but it's just like so many famous 80s people were in this movie. You know what it was? It was it's a mad world for 80s.
Hey, Brian, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I got 3 real quick points for you. Going back to Molly Ringwald, I went to Garnet Valley High School in Delaware County. She would have been a princess there.
Sure.
Another great movie.
Of course, Garnet Valley.
That's a mess. Just One of the Guys. That was a great movie. And the absolute worst part of St. Elmo's Fire is at the end where Demi Moore is going to kill herself by locking herself in a 60-degree room.
Yeah, she was going to. She locked herself in a chilly room, and everybody panicked.
Yeah. Oh my God, she's in there. She's going to freeze to death in Georgetown in January.
Now, the great thing about Garnet Valley is you had the big G on your helmets trying to rip off the Green Bay Packers. It doesn't work. Talk to you later, man. One of the boys, is that one of those cross-dressing movies where the hot girl attempts to go around as a boy for a while?
Yeah, she's trying to write a paper because she didn't get the job. She's trying to write an article because she didn't get a job at the newspaper. She should have
wrote an article about her large, perfect tits with pictures, and she would have got a job anywhere.
Was that just one of the guys or something like that?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Earl. Every once in a while, he's in and out of sleep.
No, you said one of the boys, and I wasn't sure if it was... Never mind.
It's the same thing, Earl. Crazy Earl show over there today. Hey, Dave. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Hey, what about One Crazy Summer where they had to sail the boat and get the deed to the house and all that stuff? Also,
One Crazy Summer also, that was the... either in the middle or the beginning of the crazy John Cusack run, and he was called Hoops for no fucking apparent reason other than he shot something at the end of the game. It was just terrible.
He shot a little ring through the hook at the top of the boat.
Right. And again, if you sail, you'll somehow win your grandmother's house back. Nothing works like that in real life. No bank or loan company is ever going to act like, well, let's see if you can win the regatta.
I remember this really bad one, Up the Creek, with it had like some of the Animal House guys in it, and they're still in college. It's like 1986.
Yeah, the Animal House guys always were struggling to find their next gimmick. Hey, David, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good.
A little diluted, but a couple of callers back, one of the guys said that the guy who replaced Bill Murray in Scrooge was the same guy from Real Genius, and it wasn't. It was actually John Glover.
Well, yeah, we did talk about that. We already had a correction for that. Thank you very much. Those guys look like they could be brothers. Again, part of the evil and light.
Someone needs to fix these phones so Ron and Fez can do their show. Every fucking time they get something good going, the motherfucking telephones keep on blowing up. Every fucking time they get something good going, the motherfucking telephones keep on blowing up. Why won't Wiki fix the telephones? Why won't Wiki? Why won't Wiki? How can you build a pyramid without the callers calling in? How can you give out a big ass prize to losers like me who have no life? The Ron and Fez show on XM radio. Ron and Fez show on XM radio. Fez show 202 channel 202. Every fucking time they get something good going.
Earl, it's not too much to ask that after 6 months that the fucking phones work, is it? Is it too much?
No, not at all.
Does it seem like we're being prima donnas that when people want to call in, the phone should work?
It's kind of important to have phones working when you're doing a talk show.
Well, luckily for us, one thing that does work is the hotline. And as you know, if he has a thought, he expects it to go on the air that second because 2 shows isn't enough. It's Anthony. Hey, Ant, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, my friends, Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ant.
How are you?
What's wrong?
I was listening, obviously. My ride home is so much brighter with you boys.
You missed the microphone, is that it?
And, yeah, I miss it. You know, it goes by after 6-7 hours of radio. That 20-minute drive home is something. I miss the mic a little bit.
You're almost a reality radio show where you're followed by microphones 24 hours a day.
I feel compelled. I just talk. I talk to radio shows on the air, even though I'm not on them. Just as I'm driving, I contribute. But you guys are there, and I figured some phone problems. I want to call up because you're dissing Animal House people. Who's the one at Animal House that had the best career?
Out of all of Animal House?
Out of all of them, and it's odd because you wouldn't think it was him, but he's in everything.
I would have to be Kevin Bacon, I'm going to guess.
No. D-Day.
Oh, D-Day. You know,
turns up in everything.
and you know what? People don't even recognize him as being D-Day.
A completely different entity. He looks different. He's an old fat guy now.
Yeah.
But he turns up in everything, and you go, oh, look, it's D-Day.
Now, D-Day, he was kind of doing a character that was like the fun guy, and basically he was Dan Aykroyd that they couldn't get. And then you never see him playing a fun guy again, and now he's always the obnoxious judge or whatever, no matter what he's doing.
A politician
Right.
or someone in the president's cabinet that's gone bad.
And always kind of southern, like, we don't do stuff that, you know what I mean? It's always some old boy gimmick that he has going.
Yeah, but he turns up in everything. And then, come on, Swayze, Roadhouse.
Yeah, Fez loves the Roadhouse films.
Yeah,
That
with
one,
Terry
I
Funk.
Cannot turn past that when it's on. I mean, a bouncer that everybody knows, no matter where they are in the country.
You know, it's so funny you brought up Animal House. I think it was like a week ago. We're sitting in here doing the show. I look through the window. Fucking Boone is walking by, Peter Riegert, and I go, Earl, you got to get Boone to walk in here. And at some point, and this is going to kill you, he brings up, he goes, well, I'm 59 years old now.
Holy shit.
And it was like a shot in the heart. It's like, Boone?
Yeah.
59?
Oh, that hurts.
Paul Gleason was 67.
Who doesn't
Well, he
remember
does seem like the
driving
old
to
guy,
movie
though.
to see that.
Yeah.
And he's that old.
And, you know, I always wondered why Animal House didn't hold up. It seems like it should play more.
Yeah, it doesn't quite cut it anymore.
Caddyshack is the one that everybody seems to talk about. And I still put Animal House above it.
Yeah, Caddyshack only has a few really funny gags in it. The rest of it really stinks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's kind of like Animal House. There's a few funny gags, and then the rest of it sucks.
Yeah, for some reason you always remember it being funny, and then I've been in this bad position of trying to get my kids to watch something. Hey, you got to come in here. This is fucking great, and then they're just staring at me like I'm a lunatic.
Blazing Saddles is another one that like a few funny gags, but boy, that is a stinker of a movie.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, and you know what? If you look back, everything that guy ever did is the same exact thing.
Awful.
It's just terrible and cheap and hokey and hacky, and for some reason we just thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. That must have been the drugs.
Yeah, it had to be.
I guess that helped. What do you think? Do you think Red Dawn fits in the 80s crappy movies?
Red Dawn is just a perfect film.
Red
What more
Dawn,
do you
Patrick
want?
Swayze. It had the whole little Rat Pack from back then. The Rat Pack.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a Patrick Swayze thing going there.
Well, you know, back then, Swayze, the mullet.
Let's have a film fest one weekend.
Just Patrick Swayze, we'll invite him?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Swayze Film Festival.
When he was the surfer bank robber, the dead presidents, that was my favorite, the ex-presidents.
I never remember, is that Point Break or Break Point?
Point Break.
Point Break.
Point Break, which is absolutely confused. Just a confused movie about the way the FBI actually works.
We'll throw in some outsiders, we'll be all set.
Yeah. And Patrick Swayze is actually, we talk about his brother. Patrick Swayze's brother, who kind of looks like the retarded Patrick Swayze.
Ugly Patrick Swayze, yeah.
Yeah, now he has actually been, it's almost like he's a noun now. He's like if you see a brother of an actor that looks like a retarded brother, he has the Patrick Swayze.
I see.
He was supposed to get some series like about 5 years ago with Frank Stallone and one other brother of a famous guy.
Where would this play? It would not be on a network.
It was like some WB thing or something.
WB is way too large for those guys.
Tom Hanks has one, too.
Oh, yeah, Tom Hanks has an
He's
ugly
got
brother.
the retarded Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
well, if he was walking down the street, you'd go, that guy looks like Tom Hanks, only retarded.
If Tom Hanks started to melt, that would be what he would look like.
It's got to be a hell for those guys.
Jerry O'Connell has one.
Yeah, he's got one of those.
That they used for The Bachelor.
I thought that was a twin.
Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher has a brother that has some kind of physical problems that he really is really fucked up. And talk about, just hating God.
I would just put him on Punk'd every week if I was Ashton. Here, touch my brother. My brother touched your food. No matter what happened, that would be the Punk'd.
Horrible.
terrible. Your phone's working yet? I'm almost home.
All right, buddy. Have a good day.
Love you guys.
All right, there he goes. Willie Mays. Willie Mays. There's no stopping him. He's the best there ever was, Earl.
And the best there ever will be.
He hits, he throws, he hits with power.
Steals bases.
And the place triples go to die. It's the place triples go to die. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Hey, Justin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Hey, buddy.
I got a terrible fucking 80s movie for you. The Legend of Billie Jean.
Terrible or through the roof incredibly great?
Unfucking-believably bad. She goes apeshit because some dickhead stole her brother's scooter or some shit.
See, here's what you got to remember. This was the Joan of Arc story told in 80s movies. And it was Christian Slater's sister. Christian Slater played the little brother. You never saw this one, Fez?
I've never heard of this.
And for some reason, that's when she would yell out, "Fair is fair." They wanted that scooter back. And she took on society. She took on society as a whole and cut her hair and put on some kind of wetsuit jacket to prove that she wasn't fucking around.
This sounds nuts.
How did you not see The Legend of Billie Jean?
I can't believe I've never even heard of this.
You know who the girl, though, was? She was in the Michael J. Fox, I'm moving to New York and I'm going to take over big business or something.
Helen Slater.
Helen Slater is her name.
Supergirl.
But what was the movie I'm talking about?
Secret of My Success.
Thank you very much. Where she was 7-8 feet taller than Michael J. Fox. And we weren't supposed to notice. We were supposed to believe these two were perfect together. You need to go home and watch Legend of Billie Jean tonight. JD, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, JD?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Love your guys' show. I got a good movie, and I've got a seriously horrible movie.
All right.
Excellent movie, Goonies.
Goonies? It's our time down here. It's their time up there, but it's our time down here. Wow, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to bring that kind of acting talent out.
Oh, it was just
that movie does not hold up. That movie, it takes them like an hour, 5 minutes just to get to the fucking boat and everything like that. You would be surprised at how shockingly long it is.
Well, they're set. It looked like they were working on just one big thing. Like it felt like you were at a theme park. So they had to just kind of walk around the same set for an hour and a half. What's the other one you got, JD?
For horrible movies, all the police academies.
Yeah.
They make my eyes bleed when I have to watch them.
Yeah, they're all just bad. I honestly think that those films are worse than the Porky's films. And they used to run neck and neck for how much are we going to try to milk this. What did they used to put out, 19 movies a week back then in the 80s?
Yeah, they were cranking them out a couple of times a year.
Whenever Bubba Smith was available. Which was constantly.
Academy.
Yeah.
My worst person in the police academy was the black guy who acted like he was doing fucking sound effects. He did our show before, and he was like, "Yeah, I was walking in." I'm like, "Just stop it."
Michael Winslow.
Didn't something happen where he literally ran out of the studio when you guys had him on?
I don't know. Whatever fucking happens. It's all dark ages. Earl, you can't look back. Those are very, very dark times. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, I just take your pick, Desperately Seeking Susan, or Who's That Girl with Madonna.
I'm a fan of Desperately Seeking Susan. I thought it worked out, and that had the always fabulous 80s actor Rosanna Arquette.
I never checked out the Madonna movies.
You never saw Who's That Girl?
I never saw Who's That Girl.
Yeah, they were big and awful. They ran one after another till finally she did Shanghai Surprise, and they're like, we can't keep losing money. No matter how much your albums sell for, your movies are costing us cash.
I just remember Who's That Girl. One of the big characters in that movie was a cub or a lion or something. Wasn't even a real actor.
It was all just fucking unwatchable. All just crazy. And then she kept trying to use a crazy accent and everything, like that's acting.
Do you remember this one? It was like a ripoff of the Police Academy movies, Moving Violations.
Bill Murray's little brother.
Yeah, where it's like Bill Murray's little brother playing the part they would have given Bill Murray if they could have got him at that point.
I believe that was his one and only film role until he went over and did the gimmick of attempting at that point to do that golfing movie with the golfing TV show with Bill Murray. Phone's out again, Earl?
It blew out.
Yeah, let's just go to break. Tell those guys I said thanks, though. It's really starting to turn around. It's really going great. Really loving it. Got everything, all the tools we need to do a fun show. We'll be right back. Ron and Fez. Yeah. Ron and Fez. Fez, we were talking about movies. You went to go see your X-Men movie over the weekend, which, by the way, did such a ton of business. These stupid films have people lined up around the world.
Took in $120 million over Memorial Day weekend.
$120 million. Not a bad weekend at all. They said something like top 5 all-time openings.
Yep. I didn't care for it nearly as much as the first 2 X-Men movies.
The reviews have been pretty bad overall. I was wondering how you would feel about it.
You know what? I didn't like Polo's review that he gave us on Friday.
I can't understand him, so I need to go back to you.
Yeah, he was talking about how campy it got and everything, and I didn't see that at all. I thought he had a horrible review. My problem with it was that, you know, it's the X-Men Last Stand, and I didn't think that the final battle scene was all that exciting for the X-Men taking the last stand.
Well, here's what I don't understand. Why do they want to end these things? If they're the biggest films of all time and they're right there and they've got all these basic B-movie actors that they can keep doing this for years, why would you want to stop?
I have no idea. And the worst part of it was, like, the way they used the characters. The reviews that I saw were bitching about the fact that it was too overcrowded with characters. That wasn't the problem for me. The problem was that the way they used them. I mean, you had really strong characters that weren't around for the whole movie, and then really weak characters that got all the screen time.
So you didn't enjoy it all? Wouldn't recommend?
I would not recommend. It's not one that I'm going to go see again, and I usually will see a popcorn movie a few times.
I saw a phenomenal movie over the weekend. Mm-hmm. One of the best movies I've seen in like 3 or 4 years, seriously. Mm-hmm. And that was The Da Vinci Code.
Is this going to be your movie reviews 2 weeks too late? Is that going to be the name of this?
Well, I figured a lot of people were staying away from it because of the bad critical reviews. And
yeah, from what I understand, it's the biggest movie in the world right now.
I just want to say, like, I don't work for Ron Howard or anything like that, but
you work for Ron and Fez, not Ron Howard.
But it is really one of the best movies I've seen since about 2003.
Did you? What was that film in 2003 that you seen that set this high watermark for you that you decided from this point on I'll have to pick?
I think it might have been Mystic River.
So this is the finest film since Mystic River. Okay.
Yeah, I just love
East Side Dave of Ron and Fez.
People said it was slow and everything like that.
What people? Why do you guys worry about reviewers? You should do your own reviews. You both go back and talk about other reviews that you read. Just focus on what you saw.
All right, well, the film itself, absolutely stirring and very non-slow. And I'm just thinking about
non-slow, stirring and non-slow. Earl, throw on a best of. I'm running out to see Da Vinci Code. He's got me.
That may be why you don't work for Ron Howard.
Here's Justin. Justin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I miss MySpace, Fez. And secondly, I'll give a spoiler alert here so people could turn down the radio.
No, we don't want people turning down the radio. Can you do this without it being a spoiler?
All right. I just wanted to ask Fez if he stayed after the credits of the movie.
Yeah, Paulo already gave you that bit of knowledge. Did you stay, Fez?
Yeah, I stayed for after the credits.
Was it well worth it?
I didn't think so.
Yeah. I felt the same kind of annoyance with Daredevil, where you stay all. Everyone said, "Make sure you stay," and then I was going, "I wish I didn't. I could have been home by now. I could have been in my car." Dave, you also you brought in something, huh?
Yeah, I brought in a homemade chocolate cake that my mom baked just for Ron Bennington and Fez Whatley.
Is this something that will in some way hurt us? Are we going to end up... Is this a funny get-even joke?
No, I mean, it might hurt Fez just by the cholesterol in it, but, it's made with eggs and whole milk.
But there's no acid or laxatives or anything that we need to worry about.
It's an X-Lax cake. I can see it coming.
Even if I thought there was the slightest bit of a joke, I would be furious.
No, I can definitely, if you don't believe me.
Pubes. I am going to need you.
I'll do a taste test.
Yeah, and I'll cut the slice for you.
Okay.
All right, go get plates and all. So he brags about his mom's chocolate cake for a long time. And, but I worry. Earl, are you going to eat any of this, or are you worried?
I'm not. I'm going to pass.
No, you've got to, in case there is poison in it. We've all got to die together.
No, I'll definitely take one for you and Fez.
Yeah. Now, I noticed this, Earl, you never bring in any of your mom's recipes, where Eastside Dave has stepped up and is bringing something from Casa McDonald.
Well, after this weekend, let's just say there's going to be a radical diet change in the Douglas family.
Oh, what happened?
Well, my father had a little episode with his heart.
What would you call it? Heart attack? A stroke? What?
A little blockage. So he has to radically change the diet.
So what did he go to the hospital?
Yeah, he was there for a day. He was in and out.
They give him a stent?
No stent. They caught everything early.
How old is your dad?
He will be 66 at the end of the month.
So he had a hell of a run, no matter what happens. Right.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, 8 kids, 17 grandchildren.
Take him what's left of this get well cake.
$800,000 in debt. He did okay for himself.
You ain't lying.
Run up those credit cards.
To me, the best of all time, Kinnison died owing the government a mill. And you can't beat that. You really can't beat that at all. I just cut a piece of this cake, and we'll see if Eastside Dave eats.
Okay, can I just pour myself a little milk? Because everyone knows chocolate cake and milk.
Yeah. Now, it's a chocolate cake, but it's chocolate icing, but a kind of a yellow cake inside.
Yellow cake chocolate icing, right. Mm-hmm.
And you claim this is the world's greatest cake.
Oh, my God. Oh,
I guess so.
Now, honestly, this chocolate cake is maybe better than spanking. That's how good it is. It's so good.
Better. Do you ever tell your mom this is better than jacking off eating? I would rather eat your cake than Jack.
Well, there's love in every bite, no matter which one.
Oh, my gosh. And then a little sip of milk to wash it down.
Yeah, we understand how to use a beverage. Jeremy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Earl never brings anything in because fried chicken doesn't travel well.
You know something? You're going to get this, first of all.
White people are so scared.
And second of all, Earl, anytime you want to bring any fried chicken in, I'll eat it. Do not worry about that.
Make sure to get the thigh and the leg.
Yeah, and and I agree, 100% there. Thigh and leg is the way to go with fried chicken. Don't waste my time with a giant breast. I'm not getting enough skin for what I'm putting into this. But just that day, have your folks use the plastic gloves. All right, load me up over here. I'm going to try one of this. Fez, you going to give it a little shot?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Ooh, good.
I'd love to try the world's greatest cake.
The world's great. You act like you don't believe.
I have my doubts.
Let's give Fez the next one. This is
real small.
Just give him a piece of cake.
I'll decide what I can eat.
Will you act like if you put a normal...
Look at...
Fez, I'm going to give you a crumb. You act like if it hits the cake, if it hits the plate, he can't stop himself from eating.
You know how they say sliver of cake?
Yeah.
That really is. It could get caught underneath my skin. That's how tiny it is.
Put another slice. No, that's too big. Don't be insane. You're chewing up this cake now. Yes, go ahead. Put it up there.
What a dick.
Ooh, this is good.
I got bigger pieces of cake than that when I was actually in the hospital.
But he acts like you're a ferret and you can't stop yourself from eating. Once it hits the plate, you will no longer decide how much can be consumed.
He also did the thing that I hate with people serving cake. He dumped the icing upside down. You know where it's like the icing hits the plate first before the bottom of the cake.
You have rules about your cake, huh? You need the cake to be right at the bottom.
Because now, look, the icing's smeared all over the paper plate.
I know that means a lot to you, Fez. To me, I'm eating it, so it doesn't matter one way or another. It's not... Plating never goes real big for me. I'm not like that cat woman on Iron Chef. What is her name, Earl? Does any of you guys know? It's something cat something.
No, I don't know that one.
All right, this is my. I'll give away something else now. 866 Ron Zero Fez. He just knocked the piece on the floor. I'll cut my own cake, fucko. God.
Wait.
You finish that cake right there in 2 seconds.
You want some milk, though?
All right, go ahead. Yeah, of course I do. I'm not an animal. What do you think, Fez?
Take another slice. Take another bite.
All right. Let me take another bite to make sure.
Look how nice mine's put up, Fez. Bottom at the bottom.
Perfect. The way cake should be served. You're a human.
Plating is very, very important to Fez. It's very important. And is it cat Cora? Is that it? It's driving me crazy.
All right. Can I go ahead and give my review?
Go ahead and give your review.
How can a cake be too moist and too dry all at once?
Oh, Mommy!
I don't know how she pulled it off, but there's parts of it that are sopping wet and parts of it that are drying out my throat like a fucking Sahara Desert.
All right, the wet parts have been cummed in, so you're probably tasting a little Dave.
Well, I like that part.
A little Dave cum. Jason, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, the Iron Chef, Cat Korean.
Cat Korean?
Cat Korean, something like that.
Oh, it can't be something. It's got to be exact, my friend. We're not fucking playing games here. Go find out. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez.
How did I get a drop of milk to go with my sliver of cake?
I wasn't sure if you could have a live 1%, so I just gave you a little thimbles worth.
Give me some milk. I've got to get this sawdust down my throat.
1% is just white water. Let's not make a big deal out of 1% milk.
White water.
Hey, Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez.
I'm whitewater
Her
rafting.
name is Cat Cora.
Cat Cora.
Cat Koran.
Thank you very much. Yeah, ring that cowbell. You're going to the prize closet.
Chocolate cake's chocolate all the way through, Dave, not chocolate frosting. Just like your bits are bits that last to the end, not bits that start halfway and then end.
All right.
Well, no, I think chocolate cake. No, it's the icing that matters. So if it's chocolate icing and vanilla cake, it's chocolate cake.
Kevin, you hang on. You're getting a copy of the Boondock Saints, the unrated special edition. That's thanks to Fox Home Video. The Boondock Saints unrated special edition. That's available in stores now.
Now, by the way, all right, I'm going to try my piece. Here's what, right away, I'm going to say this, Dave. Plating, beautiful. Nice job. Now, two, I like when they run the icing in. I like it. It's a double layer with the icing split. Some people don't do that. I like to have that second little thing of icing in my cake. Makes it like a wonderful little surprise.
What do you think?
It's a classic cake. It's a classic yellow cake. This recipe, I'm sure it goes back to the 30s, right?
Yeah. It's centuries old, or decades old. My grandmother taught her,
Right.
And this and that.
Who was your grandmother, Duncan Hines?
I would call this everybody's mom's cake.
Well, but isn't that good? Would you rather have had
comfort cake, yeah.
this cake or that $35 disaster that we had for Earl's birthday on Friday?
You're the one who went and bought the $35 disaster, which I was furious about. We have great bakeries in this city.
Yeah.
Why you're going to the fucking Dwayne Reed for a cake is beyond me.
I think he put $35 worth of quarters and got a snack cake out of a machine.
So I can't take away from the flavor. Now, to agree with Fez a little bit, it is a little sticky. It's a little sticky.
I told you.
It's a little difficult to swallow. I almost need a hose right here to get it off my throat.
Keep in mind, I was transporting it in the humidity today, and...
Well, it picked up a lot.
This cake did travel...
There's a lot of your sweat in there.
Remember, this cake also traveled on the subway today, on the N train. So that you gotta keep those things in mind.
White people are so scared of black people.
I don't care how many minorities are on there. We do not call that the N train.
Sorry.
Ever. If anything, it's the African-American train, and I love it. I like to hear people play drums. All right, let me take another taste. So taste, I got no problem with, Dave.
Okay.
The taste is classic American. Icing, fine. Feels a little bit out of the box, but I'm not going to say anything about that.
Oh, my God.
Did she box it up at all?
She labored it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she labored over this. She takes minimum of 4 to 5 hours, because then there's also the cooling down process, and the whole thing is such a big to-do.
This is the wedding challenge from Top Chef. Where Tom Colicchio comes in and finds the cake mix box in the garbage.
It's a little sticky. But I say it's very passable for drunk Irish guys. I'm sure you and your brothers coming home 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, finding this in the fridge must be going crazy.
And we only got this cake when we did something special. That was the cake
Jacked
just
each other.
Didn't piss the bed?
Why don't you give all the boys a little slice of cake, let everybody decide. Remember plating. You know, remember how important that is to Fez.
Okay.
Look how happy the boys are to have some free cake, though.
I gotta put that down. I've totally made myself sick with it now.
Now, I was watching that Cat Cora the other night, Fez. She's going up against this guy from Vegas. They're going toe-to-toe. Hamburger, of course, was the secret ingredient. Pretty difficult to, how to use hamburger over and over. They show the front row. There's Bill Murray cheering along with everybody else. Bill Murray in the front row, bouncing a kid on his knee. And now somebody told me that one of these chefs that was up against Cat Cora is Bill Murray's friend. That they grew up together or something. Although I have to say he looked a lot younger than Bill Murray. But Bill Murray always shows up on the most bizarre shows on TV.
I think we have Hell's Kitchen starting again soon for another chef show.
Yeah, that'll be a fine one.
Crazy Jen claims she's in the opening credits of that.
Yeah, we'll see. Robert, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, man. Yeah, Dave said his mom labored over that cake for hours because it included the whole cooling down thing. Well, watching a cake cool is not exactly a labor-intensive process.
It is for a drunk redheaded kid that wants to eat the cake immediately, so his mom was always waiting for the cool-off. That had to be the big thing for Dave growing up.
And I'm sure he got to lick everything when it was done.
So, Fez, you're not even going to give it a passable?
No.
I'm going to give it a passable. I really am. I thought it was very edible.
Thanks, Mr. B.
A little, maybe you were right about the humidity. Maybe next time she needs to come in here and cook it. What would be her big go-to meal? Your mom's big go-to meal?
My mom's big go-to meal would most likely be pork chops with mashed potatoes, applesauce, and yellow corn. And that's it. And then, to top it off, the chocolate cake. That's if I've been... And basically, every birthday since I was 6, I get that meal.
Now, Dave said to me when he called me drunk Friday night that he was going to play some serious wiffle ball over the weekend. Sometimes he seems like a 12-year-old with a drinking problem.
I forgot I got a drunk call Friday night.
We all do. Because he's not allowed to call his other friends. He's not allowed to call any of the girls.
No.
Did you call anybody like...
No calls.
Well, I got some gossip from him, too. He's like this. You know Solera hates Keisha, right? And I'm like...
Wow.
I'm like this, Dave, I'm a guy. Doesn't matter to me if the girls don't like each other.
I got a call where I didn't know who it was, and I had no idea what that noise I was hearing in the background, till I heard, "Hey, Mr. W, sorry, it's Dave, I'm pissing."
Well, Bobby, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, boys?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I have to correct that other caller. It probably wasn't the 5 hours it took Dave's mom to watch the cooling down process. That's how long it took her to read the directions.
All right.
Oh,
See,
man.
Now they're doing mom jokes.
Mommy made this from scratch.
I give it passable.
Thanks.
I'm going to give it a C+.
I'm going to email Mommy as soon as I get off.
Stop calling her Mommy and just say my mom. I'm very uncomfortable when people say Mommy. Earl does the same thing.
God, I love my mommy.
We're all adults. You know what? If we were children, by third grade, that has to stop, I think. Here's Troy. Tony, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how's it going today, guys? Hey, you know what? I can't stand this son of a bitch. He's the dumbest fucker I've ever heard in my life. How he lived this long thinking that yellow cake is called chocolate cake is just mind-bending to me.
The icing is chocolate, Tony.
You're a fucking retard. Go to the store and look it up, you asshole. It's yellow cake, not chocolate cake. You fucking drunk Mick.
But once the chocolate icing is put on it, then it becomes...
Why don't you just call it what it really is, Betty Crocker? Because this is a box cake, Dave.
Well, when I mean scratch, I mean she makes the mix and does the eggs and the milk and everything. But I mean, who can make chocolate icing? That's like, except for like the Willy Wonka factory.
This is Betty Crocker icing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's Duncan Hines. I do think she uses Duncan Hines icing.
Then she made none of this.
She did.
Why don't you bring in a box of donuts and say my mom made this? For you, for Irish people, this has got to be an A. Seriously. Normally, they soak a goddamn potato in hot water for an hour, and then they call it a meal.
Well, I mean, you say it's sticky. That's where she went wrong. How would that get fixed? I mean, icing is sticky. I don't understand how that's even irreparable.
It just tastes like it's out of a can.
Well, then someone should sue Duncan Hines, not my mom.
No, your mom should. If she says, I made this cake, she should make it.
So she should make the icing, is your point?
Yes, everyone makes icing.
Who? These professional chefs.
Everyone else's mom makes icing, just so you know.
Really?
Yes.
Your mom made icing, Fez?
Yes.
Wow.
My dad makes icing.
It's not a difficult thing.
It just seems impossible to me.
Powdered sugar is all you really fucking need. You're on your way.
I wouldn't know the first thing about
this
that.
is kind of a celebration day for you today, right, Fez? You finally decided you stopped to wear your outfit?
Oh, yeah.
How many weeks did you do it this time?
I went 2 weeks in a row.
And what was the reason this time?
The fact that it was a holiday weekend, and I figured no one would remember it after a long weekend, and the fact that the weather changed and it was just too hot to wear that same outfit again.
It was very odd what went on here the last couple of weeks. Everybody was asking about it. So you decided just to keep wearing the same clothes?
Yeah, I wanted to see if anyone would notice if I just wore the same outfit over and over and over again.
Yeah, we noticed after the second day. So we were
Why didn't say anything?
Because it was so lame to do right after the first time when you got so much praise for it.
And I figured, well, I'll try it again just to see if anyone notices. And it was the same outfit that I did it the first time with.
Yeah, and everyone did notice. And literally, there were meetings as if is Fez having a breakdown. You got to just stop these experiments. They're so plain, and they're odd.
It was weird that you chose the same outfit, and that was like...
Well, I figured this is how unnoticed that it goes, that I could get away with using the exact same outfit again.
You couldn't. And Dave was bringing up odor to us during the things. He said that he smelled. I, on the other hand, did not. Now, I'm a cigar smoker, so my nose might be destroyed. But, Dave, you claim that you smelled them every day.
No, there was just a little mold and something was going on.
Do you not wash your clothes, Fez?
I washed it during the middle of the week.
That doesn't seem likely, because there just seemed to be some sort of smell.
Who noticed first?
Everybody.
I think...
Everybody had the second day. Pitsy came to me, Earl came to me, and
I think it was Ron.
And everybody's going like this. He's doing it again. And I go, I know, because we showed love a week ago. You know what I mean? If you ever say to Fez, hey, that's a good bit that you did. Like, if you ever go, oh, that Catty Moments was funny. Then you get a Catty Moments a week until you act like you have eventually have to say, all right, Fez, we got it.
Yeah,
But a week before, we all thought it was the funniest thing ever.
And I thought, well, now is the perfect time to go right back into it and try it again and see if anyone notices. This would be the time they would be expecting it the absolute least.
Pathetic.
The best is when we would be walking, say, like on the street after the show, and all four of us, and sometimes Fez and Earl walk a little bit above, say, like me and Ron Ron just sort of hits you in the elbow and is like, look at this psychopath, the same fucking brown shirt. He's like, this has got to stop. And we debate it all the time. Should we tell him?
We called Wiki about it.
Really? Why? Do not call Mr. Wicklin about this.
He didn't even get the first premise, so it's all weirded him out. But what did he say about the psychological thing? Early said the company would pay?
Yeah, he said the company would pay for any psychological care that you may need.
I don't need it for that.
All right, well, you can't... No.
Okay.
No more 1%. But you can't brag about the good cake and have it come out of a can. It's just wrong.
I'm going to be giving my mom an email about that and just scold her a little bit.
You know what? Just tell her that we loved it. Just write to her and say, Ron and Fez went crazy about your cake. Why should she start adapting at this point of her life?
You know, she did put your picture above the oven so that when she makes the cake, she has the the press op photo.
Well, you just tell her that we went crazy, we loved it, and said, oh my God, Mrs. McDonald, it's fantastic.
And not to never make another one again. It was that good. Never bake again.
And tell her I'll see her at the AA meeting with the rest of your
Wait,
family.
She also wanted to know, yesterday she goes, they would love my potato salad, too. Can I give them some potato salad? No?
That has mayonnaise in it, and that thing will kill us by the time you take it through the N train.
White people are so scared of black people.
Earl?
Yes.
The N train is just a letter on the train. It's not the N word.
Okay,
Stop it.
Can we call it the soul train?
No, the R train is the retard train. I will tell you that right off. What do you take, Fez?
I take the R.
The R?
Actually, I take the F.
That's the fuck train. That's where people have sex.
The F train.
Meet you on the F train. Here's Michelle. Michelle, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, guys. How are you today?
Good, darling.
I'll tell you what, you're making me pretty damn hungry. But I'm a professional chef, and I would like to put this whole controversy to rest.
Yeah.
A yellow cake with chocolate icing is a yellow cake with chocolate icing. A chocolate cake is a chocolate cake with chocolate icing, and perhaps some other type of icing is acceptable, but normally it would be chocolate icing.
So if you were like in a restaurant, you ordered a piece of, but see, if you order a piece of yellow cake with chocolate icing, it never says that on the menu.
First of all, you're never going to get a yellow cake in a restaurant. A restaurant charges for food. It's a fucking box cake.
Yeah, right. They're normally thought to be, like for really bad weddings and to come out of a box.
Yeah,
but
it's considered a box cake.
But a chocolate cake is, I make a chocolate cake that would give you an orgasm, I swear to God. And also, Fez is indeed correct that presentation is extremely important.
Fez loves plating. It's all about plating for Fez, and Dave just slapped the cake down sideways. And Fez is, when I say that he's anal, I just don't mean that he eats ass. He likes everything very neat in his life.
Well, in this case, though, that is what is right and proper because plating is extremely important. So you do have to give Fez props for at least, if he's going to be anal, let's be anal about something important.
Yeah, he is our cat Cora. He likes the plating to be perfect every single time. All right, thanks so much, Michelle.
Okay, thank you, boys. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
I really like the icing so much, and when you smear it all over the bottom of the plate...
Well, the question was, should I touch it with my hand? Because I couldn't give you good plating.
You put it up proper. What you do, he wanted the bottom. He wanted the cake to stand up, not to be slapped on the side. He wanted to get it like it was in a restaurant. You served it like normally you do around the house, where you're just throwing it on. Fez is particular.
See, it's hard to give good plating if you don't put your fingertips on it, though, to guide the cake.
I was able to do it.
Well, that's true, but you're gifted with a knife.
No,
that's not
if that means I can make you talk, the words yes. Yes, I am gifted with a knife. Here is, and you know what? Here's your problem. You come in here with a bag of fucking excuses every single day. Rather than just cut the cake and give it to Fez the way he wants, you have 1,000,001 reasons why it can't be done. Hey, Amy, you're on Ron and Fez.
I just would like to say that chocolate icing is the easiest fucking thing in the world to make.
Yeah.
It takes less than 5 minutes, and it tastes so much better
Yeah.
than that Betty Crocker shit in a can on the shelf.
Here's the problem. I don't know. You're probably not Irish. You don't understand how drunk this woman probably is. To be able to
Irish,
go...
I'm German.
If she started having a mixing bowl and mixing that icing, she's going to drop the whiskey. You want Tullamore Dew all over the floor, or do you want to just grab a can and slap it out there?
Did she make a rum cake at all?
All right. I mean, first of all, I tasted a little ash. I think she had a Pall Mall going and a little ash fell in there. It was very tasty.
The thing about chocolate cake with chocolate icing, way too much chocolate. That's why I think the yellow cake is nice and fluffier.
No, look,
and it's not chocolate overload.
No one said the yellow cake is not a good taste.
Right.
The point is you're calling it the wrong name. It's a yellow cake. You're yelling it's chocolate cake, so you fucking threw people off. That's what started this. No one said it has anything to do with the taste. Who doesn't like a Depression-era cake? Of course it's delicious. It's comfort food.
Just that your eyes focus on the icing first, I think, before the yellow.
Things have a name, my friend. Things have a name.
All right.
All right. You can't start and call a horse a four-legger. And I know that it's got 4 legs, but you can't make up your own names.
Okay.
Now, I was thinking about this the other night, Fez. If you found yourself in a situation where you were born without a mouth, you have no mouth,
right?
Would you still want lips, or would you want it just to be straight skin all the way down?
No, I would want a mouth.
You'd still want a mouth, even though you're not going to be able to open it. It's just going to be frowning all the time.
I would still want lips.
Dave, where are you on this one?
Definitely no lips, because the lips would be torturous. It would just remind you that you don't have a mouth.
Yeah.
And I think it would look kind of cool with a no mouth. You could freak people
at
out.
least people know where you were coming from. Where, Fez, with you, they're going like, that guy's quiet. That guy doesn't say shit to anybody, or he never smiles. Here, if they know you have no mouth, they're going to know, because there are not going to be any lips there. Earl, where are you on this one?
No lips.
No lips at all?
No lips at all.
Yeah.
Because you would just get completely misunderstood. And Lord knows I'm already misunderstood enough.
I would have a difficult time just thinking what people would, if someone tried to kiss you. And then you're going like, I can't. It really feels like, it's like you're kissing my elbow.
Yeah, you'd just be nudging someone with your, useless lips.
Right.
You wouldn't be able to pucker them.
And lips are pretty unnecessary anyway, and they're really more of an annoyance, because I have to put on loads of chapstick throughout the day.
That's lipstick that you're putting on, girlie.
So if I can take lips, if I can just take that little
you would get rid
out,
of you would just have skin running right up to your
right
mouth?
like that. In fact, that was the original cover of The Shining, was just a kid with eyes and no mouth. And I always thought that was so cool, and so maybe that's part of the reason why.
Hey, let me see you suck your mouth and see what because you got thick lips. Yeah, but his face is so pink, you really can't tell where his skin is. I mean, to me, it looks like your skin is made out of lip. Like you are just an endless amount of lip.
Lip face.
Yeah.
It's hot in here.
But would you want lips, like let's say, if you couldn't lick them?
No, you wouldn't be able to lick them.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to lick them. And
I'm going to go no lips. I was a no lip guy from the beginning. I said, look, you're born a freak. You might as well get that out there. Now, don't be one of those people who are like, well, I'll have lips in case they can do an operation. If you're going to do this kind of question,
right,
you're not going to get a fucking mouth. You're eating from a tube for the rest of your life.
How would that, through your nose?
No, it goes into your arm like a feeding tube, like you would, and like an IV probably the only way, right?
Yeah, that would be it, or like right into the stomach. A tube that goes right into the stomach.
I didn't know they had those. They have tubes that go directly into the stomach?
Yeah, you can do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what about his idea of just running one through the nose? Would you get some taste there?
Yeah, you would. You would get some taste there because,
I wonder if you would eventually learn to kind of talk through your nose. Just like, Do you ever see those people that can sing with their mouth shut?
Yeah.
They're amazing to me. They are amazing. Now, I'm sure if you had no mouth, you wouldn't have any teeth, right?
Yeah, there wouldn't be anything there. That's just a solid bone mass there behind fall lips.
I don't know if it would be a bone mass. Why would it be a bone? It would just be skin over nothing.
Over a hole that should be there?
Yeah. Then you're saying you could open it?
Yeah.
With just a knife? I would at least try to open it with a knife just to see if maybe I could start talking. But because if there were teeth underneath of it, I would really.
You would be able to feel if you had teeth, though. You would be able to feel that. That's pretty obvious, I think.
Imagine what the breath would be like. Imagine what the breath would be like. Here's David. You're Ron and Fez.
Yes, sir. Hey, Ronnie, I apologize for taking your show this way. I know you hate it, but once again, I got to bring up the fact this is why everybody hates Dave. What? He just said that right now he wishes he had no fucking lips because he has to use chapstick. Again, he's just being ridiculous.
So what do you mean? You're denying, or you're arguing that I use chapstick a lot?
He has really tender lips.
I'm very sensitive.
What I'm saying is you would look like a freak without lips.
Well, he looks like a freak now. I mean, it's not going to change anything. There's nothing you're going to do about that. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Ron. This is Mike.
Yes.
No, my uncle just got diagnosed with throat cancer.
I got my radio
couldn't
show.
eat, can't drink, can't do nothing, and they actually had to put a feeding tube into his stomach. It was so archaic the way they told him. They had to, strap him down on the table and, shove a tube into his stomach and just go from there. It was pretty disgusting to hear the story.
Oh, God, that's horrible. The only thing is, to be good at the movies, you're not making any noise at the movie. You're just, quietly eating. You're just enjoying your snacks without ruffling and going through a lot of problems.
Tubes, though, really frighten me. They're very scary.
I'd be afraid of a tube.
I don't know. Ever since...
what about an inner tube? Does that scare you as well?
That's something...
Tube of toothpaste?
Is an inner tube the thing when you go on the ocean? You mean the...
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't like those either.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You could slip and fall. Just tubes are always bad. Ever since Elliot from E.T., the final scene where there's tubes going up his nose, I've always been very frightened by them.
Well, there's like oxygen tubes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fez had that when he was in the hospital last time.
And I loved it.
Why?
It was because you could feel the oxygen was so nice and cool, and it just felt so clean going right up my nostrils.
You loved everything about being in the hospital. I never saw anyone as happy in the hospital as you. You would love to be the boy in the bubble.
When I went in the hospital the second time, my brother was in there, he's like, how can you stand having that thing in your nose? That oxygen thing?
Yeah.
It was just the best feeling.
People would ask me that when I was have a dollar bill stuck there. I'm like, why take it down? That was my feeding tube. My own little feeding tube. Here's Josh. Josh, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I'd just like to comment on how Dave knows so much about what side to serve on, but has no idea you're not supposed to serve cake upside down.
That is true. You acted like you know everything about being a server before, and then you served Fez in a manner that really destroyed his appreciation for the meal.
Look at the mess that this plate is. Just a mess.
Well, see, usually in restaurants,
it's like I wipe my ass with it.
The dessert chef will be serving the cake on the plate, so the waiter never has to worry about plating.
Well, that doesn't matter. I mean, the fact is, the way to serve something. And even look what you've done to your own. It looks like the Titanic heading down. Now, Earl, did you try any of this cake? Did Johnny?
I tried some of the cake. And,
what did you think?
It's like dry and moist at the same time.
That's the same thing the Fez had to say.
No, I'm dead serious. It's like, okay, I mean, I had to drink a lot of water.
Like quicksand. There was a little bit of a quicksand
Definitely had to drink.
constitution to it.
Well, the frosting was a little rich for me.
Well, that's because it's straight out of the can.
So, I mean... I had to drink some water to get it down, but the actual yellow part was fine. It was nice and bouncy. But the
yellow part was fine. Well, I don't know what that was, Betty Crocker. Mitch, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
You know that show Perfect Strangers that had Cousin Larry on it and Cousin Balky?
Yeah.
Cousin Larry, he had no lips. You can ask him how it works out for him.
I looked that up online, Fezzy, Cousin Larry's lips, and see if he did. In fact, some people have very thin lips. It's not the same as what we're talking about. The thing that brought this up is the age-old question. If you're born without a mouth, would you still want lips there? Anyway, Fez is the only one who said, yes, give him the lips. He wants to be somewhat passable in society.
No lips. There's too much of a hassle. There's no reason for him.
I like the fact of just pointing out, people, that if you are a freak, boy, he doesn't have much lip, does he?
No, that's Mark Lynn Baker from Perfect Strangers.
Yeah. Not a lot of lip there.
Almost Larry Linville-ish.
Is it the song?
One of my favorite shows. Every kid who grew up in the 80s loved Perfect Strangers.
Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yo. Hey, is this me?
I guess it is. You.
Hey, look, one thing I've got problems with, you wouldn't be able to taste any food. So you have to have some kind of an operation, right?
No, you cannot get an operation. If you get an operation, your heart will stop.
Oh,
when these kind of questions come up, it's not about beating it and getting it back to normal. It's about saying what between the two options you'd rather have. Yeah, I'm sure somebody would want to get a bandsaw and try to and risk their life to get a mouth. That's not the point we're making. The point is, if you have no mouth, what would you sit there with?
It's cheating if you say, well, I'll just live long enough till they'll eventually come up with a cure. That's cheating.
Josh, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, how you doing there, Ron and Fez? Good to hear you.
Thanks.
How about Matrix #1 when they take Neo's lips? They take his lips away. He looks kind of cool in that.
All right, that's a very good point. Neo, yeah, Neo. And I never understood that scene, how they did it or why they did it or why they weren't doing stuff like that more. But at one point he had no mouth. And there you're off with it.
Yeah, well, it was the agents took away his mouth just to show you.
Yeah, but why wouldn't they do it again? Why would they only do it once? It seemed like something they could have done all the time.
Well, once he got his training, the agents couldn't fuck with him anymore. But he didn't have his training yet.
Now you're leaping ahead to act like you know that he somehow was trained into keeping it in his mouth. We were never told that. You're assuming.
Well, I'm just assuming once he got all the training, his mental powers grew as well, and that's why the agents didn't have that kind of mental effect
It's an assumption that the film doesn't set up for us. I say it's a flaw in the film. They let us down. All right, what about this one, Fez? If you had to live the rest of your life dressed as some sport, always ready to play one sport, what sport would it be? Now remember, it's winter, spring, summer, or fall. You can't get out of it. You're always wearing that outfit of the sport.
I'm going to have to go baseball.
Baseball all the time?
Baseball uniform all the time.
That's a weird one. You know, it's not as comfortable as you think. And I don't think it's some of those nylon ones or wool ones are really, really bad in the heat. What about for you, Dave?
I'd probably say NASCAR because it's just a big jumpsuit and it seems very...
You're going to be dressed like a big jumpsuit wherever you go. And it looks like you're going to have commercials all over you.
But it seems like it wouldn't be too hot in the summer, but it also in the winter, it would cover up your whole body.
All right, Earl, where are you on this one?
Gotta go baseball. My favorite sport. It's relatively comfortable all year round,
but stupid looking. That's the problem with it. Now I'm going to throw one out with you. It might seem a little cheating, but what about bowling? What if you were just always dressed as a bowler? And let's face it, during your lifetime, the bowling shirt has never been out of style. It's never been, hey, I'm getting a bowling shirt. But if you're wearing a bowling shirt to a party, no one's going to bring it up like you have on, some other sports apparel. The other one is as a golfer. You're always dressed as a golfer. Remember, that also has knickers.
White people are so scared of black people.
Knickers. That's the type of pants.
Golfing is a little too upscale,
A little too loud for you?
It's too flamboyant. It's just, you don't always need to wear such nice clothing.
You're saying something's too flamboyant, and you're going everywhere with in a silver jumpsuit. Flame retardant silver jumpsuit. I mean, you might as well be a stupid astronaut.
He's doing it to get sponsorships.
Hey, Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, you kind of blew up my spot. I was on hold, but I was going to say golf or bowling. But golfers just wear khakis and a pullover shirt. It's not like it's that extravagant, Dave. It's not that crazy.
Yeah, it's not that wacky. I mean, the golf shirt itself, they've come further with it, where you can wear a button shirt now.
But it would be pretty cold in the winter time. Wouldn't it? I mean, you're always wearing a golf shirt. Your forearms are exposed and everything. With my NASCAR jumpsuit.
Wait a minute, there's no golf coats? I mean, look at Fez. Fez is not going to have a winter coat.
Oh, well, I guess so. I mean, when I think of a golfer, I think of the golf shirt. I think that's more of their uniform.
I'm not saying... Well, they have no rain gear? Perhaps there's a poncho they can throw on.
Jack Nicklaus is always in a sweater.
Nobody wants to dress as a football player? 24...
Pants are way too tight and gay, quite frankly. If someone saw you with football pants, football pants really are quite gay. They should really change the
Remember when there was one tour where Mick Jagger dressed as a little football player with the pants? I think it was maybe even before. Was it Steel Wheels or before that?
81.
Like 1981,
81
whatever
tour.
That tour was. Here is Dallas. Dallas, you're on Fez.
Hey, guys. My sports uniform, I probably wear rugby, man. You got the shorts and the T-shirt. You'd be cool year-round. Well, maybe not in the winter, but, you stuff it out, I guess.
Yeah, I can't sit there and struggle with anything with shorts. I mean, basketball, great for the summer, but what are you going to do in the winter?
You're out.
But you do have that warm-up suit. Let's not forget that. That's easy to take off. You just really pull at it like a stripper. Justin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Dave, how come you can act like NASCAR's a sport now that you want to wear their uniform, but every other time you say it's not?
That's a very good point, Dave.
Well, the thing is, some of my opinions have changed recently.
So NASCAR is the best sport of all time now?
I'm not going to say that, no.
Those are the best athletes working today?
No, I'm not going to say that either. But I've started to pay more attention with Jimmy Johnson's winning streak going and with, Tony Stewart and everything like that. I'm starting to get into NASCAR a little bit.
Everything like what? When you say everything like that, what do you mean?
Just the rivalries, the trash talking of Tony Stewart.
Well, it's not new. It's been around forever. It's been around since the beginning of the sport.
Like Kurt Busch with the Johnny Rotten type attitude.
I like that you're throwing out names, but it doesn't seem like you know anything more than that.
This Dale Earnhardt Jr.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Cash, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, guys, I thought that golfers wore all black.
You're thinking of gophers. Gophers. Hey, Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, I would say wrestlers, not like pro wrestlers, high school wrestlers, college wrestlers, because in the summertime it's hot as hell. If you just wear that little nut huggers and a little thing, everything's kind of open to the wind, but in the wintertime, you throw on the sweats and you're nice and warm.
He's got something there if you got sweats. If you got sweats, it's very, very helpful.
The unitard.
Jerry, you're on Ron and Fez.
I say you got to go rodeo. I mean, no one would know you're wearing a uniform and you're pretty casual.
Rodeo is interesting. It's the problem there is leather chaps. Everything else you can deal with, except for leather chaps.
No rodeo for me.
Why not? Not a sport?
No,
so you learn 3 names?
Well, the spurs, for one. It's not going to be easy to walk around with spikes on your feet.
Those spurs, they jingle, jangle, jingle. So they are nice right from the beginning. And you always got a nice big hat, the leather vest.
It just doesn't seem compatible with driving. The hat and the spurs and everything, you're not going to be able to just operate a vehicle with all that.
The boots would be worse than the chaps, I think.
Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, boys? Miss Old Man Fez.
Yeah, me too. Old Man Fez wore the same clothes every day.
What about a jousting outfit? You could walk around in Earl's neighborhood without getting stabbed and shot.
Interesting there. Jousting a sport? I guess it was at one time. At one time, it was probably the only sport. But, is that cheating to suddenly start going, well, let's take it back to gladiator days?
You can't do jousting. You'd be like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz.
Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, I'm thinking along the same lines, but like fencing or karate or like a ninja. Nobody would ever fuck with you on the street if you're dressed like a ninja. Plus, it's breathable.
If you did go that way, if you went martial artist, which is really a great look, it's comfortable, it's classic, you can get away with it almost like it's monk clothes. I might even go so far as to move to Japan if I decided to do that.
No shoes. What the hell are you going to do,
Why can't you have shoes?
I've never seen a martial arts man with shoes on.
Of course they do.
They're always barefoot.
No, they're not. You're out of your mind.
What about a kickboxer?
They wear shoes exactly like wrestlers do, I think, or boxers. They wear the same kind of shoes boxers wear.
Oh.
I used to wear a pair of them all the time. They were the fucking most comfortable thing I ever had in my life. Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, year-round attire. How about billiards, like playing pool?
Just dress like a poker player wherever you go. Classy. Very nice look.
Get a nice pair of shades, you're all set.
Pokey, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, man, that's cheating. If you're going to allow bowling and golf, then I'm dressing up like darts every day.
You're going to dress like a dart?
No, like a dart thrower.
How do they dress? We're now saying bowling and golf aren't sports. Is that where we are with this?
Darts is and bowling is.
Bowling's not really a sport.
Bowling and darts are on the same level, Fez. You can't say one is a sport and it's not. Now, in England, they love darts. It's on fucking primetime TV over there. It's considered a sport like we consider pool a sport over here. Billiards.
I don't see it. I don't see darts as a sport. I don't see bowling
You
as a sport.
didn't see NASCAR as a sport a month ago, so I can't wait for every whim to come through your red head.
Anything that you can play in a bar is not a sport. Darts, you can play in a bar. Bowling, you can play in a bar. I mean, a bowling alley bar, so that can't be a sport.
What about pool? You can play pool in a bar.
And I'm not putting that as a sport. Absolutely not. No.
Ping pong, you can play in a bar?
That's more of a sport, but I've never seen a ping pong bar. I've never seen a ping pong
You never saw a ping pong table in a bar?
Not the bars I go to.
You got to get out of Jersey.
No, that's true.
What about air hockey? You're acting like air hockey isn't a sport now. Hey, John. John, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
What's going on?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I got two. You know the Klan outfit, it started way back when with the Masons, the Black Masons, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. They used to wear red, right? They used to wear red hood and dress, or a matador outfit. Fezzy would love that.
I appreciate you with the history of the Klan, but remember, that's not a sport. Taking blacks from their homes in the middle of the night and lighting them on fire is not considered a sport. Earl, I'm sorry you had to hear it.
White people are so scared of black people.
And you look at me. When we drive through the South, keep your eyes on me. If we see any strange fruit, I don't want you to see it and have that in your mind for the rest of all time.
My line is, I'm with you, Ronnie. No, I'm with him.
If anybody touches you when I'm around, I'll go out of my way. Tommy, can you hear me? You're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, what's going on, Ron and Fez?
Tommy.
Hey, man.
Tommy.
Hey, Fez. Yes, sir. Hey, man.
Tommy.
Yeah. What's up, bro? You hear me?
Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Go ahead.
I would say Fez should go with the rodeo thing. Just don't wear the pants and just the assless chaps.
Because he's gay. I get it. You know, Fez, I wish you wouldn't have to deal with that on a daily basis. It drives me crazy.
Me too. I don't know where it comes from.
By the way, what are you doing with the G.I. Joe beard? What's the thing there?
Yeah, that was a little problem from yesterday. Much like Taylor Hicks, I'm graying prematurely.
Mm-hmm.
And
actually, unlike him, you're graying the way you're supposed to.
Oh. And I tried to cover up some gray spots in my beard, and I used the new dye that I hadn't used before. Came out much too dark.
I see. Well, it's got a G.I. Joe look that you'd never had before.
It's very Hollywood Hulk Hogan, NWO style.
Actually, unlike him, the way you're supposed to. And I tried to cover gray spots in my beard. Hello.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hey, guys.
Hello?
You've never had...
Hello?
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 How about a boxer?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Did we get cut off?
Hello?
Hello?
Does that only make me and you laugh? I have a feeling no one else gets it, but I see you rolling.
I'm having a good time.
Here's Tom. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Great show.
Is it?
Croquet.
Croquet player. What about polo? That's always a smart outfit with a crazy little helmet.
And it always changes with the seasons, too.
What does?
The outfit.
I had no idea.
So I think you could get the long pants when it gets a little cooler, and you could wear the short pants when it gets warmer.
You know something, Dave? You got chocolate cake all over the floor over here. I want you to make sure everything is perfect before Willie Mays gets in here tomorrow.
Okay. Shit.
No, it's not shit. It's chocolate cake. Just tastes like shit. And let me call it the truth. It's yellow cake with canned frosting.
He's like a toddler where he cannot have a piece of cake without it just going everywhere.
And everybody has the feeling that their mom makes great food. That's the sad thing about life. Everybody thinks their mom can cook. All right, let's take a break. We're right back. Ron and Fez Show. Big news over the weekend. Barry Bonds passes Babe Ruth to get into second place. That's 7:15.
The pitch. Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep to center. Out of here. 7:15. passes Babe Ruth. He is second on the all-time home run list.
Well, you know, it was amazing to me to see him cheered. I forgot that in San Francisco he's loved, because on the road he's hated. When he goes back, it's like Jerry Lawler in Memphis, where suddenly he's the face in that town.
I know the headline in the New York Post was Shambino, and they ran a picture of Babe Ruth with a single tear coming down his cheek since he's been passed by Barry Bonds.
Wouldn't he be crying more because he was dead? Wouldn't that be the tear? Well, you know, he's the third greatest home run hitter, lifetime, all time. That's not so bad. Fez, did you watch it at all? The guy drops the ball, and now he's back the next day acting like, well, I had the wrong glove. I didn't have my first baseman's glove. You just dropped at least $500,000, you fucking moron. I don't care what kind of glove it was.
It was more than that. It was at least $1 million.
Was it really?
Yeah.
You don't drop that shit. You go home and put a goddamn bullet in your head if you make a mistake like that.
And the guy who got the ball, he was just online getting a beer.
I know, it's a better story, actually, when you think about it.
And it's like, what's this?
What came rolling up to me?
I can't believe some moron is going to pay $1 million for that ball, though. It's not worth $1 million. It's a second-place ball.
I know, but what are the chances that's going to happen again? I mean, it is Babe Ruth. You're passing the Babe.
It's still a ball. It doesn't matter what happened to that ball. That if you're going to... Let me ask you this. Would you pay $1 million for that film clip? Because there would be a way to relive it. Not to look at a dead ball just sitting there.
I know, but look at the legal fight that they had for Bonds' 73rd home run.
But why? Why are people after this? To me, it's not as worth as much as Dave's mother's cake. What do you get out of an inanimate object? A ball. I don't understand how a ball that's worth, what, $15 could later be worth $1 million.
People are thinking they're holding history. Almost like it's the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence or something like that.
But it's not. It's a ball. The same as other balls. What makes that ball special?
The kid that had that got the 714 ball of Bonds's, he said he was like, oh, I'm going to go sneak this away. I'm going to put it away. I hope it brings in a big price. And I'm thinking 715 ball is going to just drop the price of yours the instant it's hit. So I didn't even realize what the guy was hoping to get out of 714.
I held on to a 714 for a long time. That's because it was a Quaalude, and you can't get them anymore. Hey, Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. One, I was going to comment about the ball thing. McFarlane, the guy from Spawn, actually paid a couple million for the ball, and then for McGuire's ball. And if you look at the prices of those balls over time, they've gone down because
of course they're going to go down, because in the course of history, Bonds and McGuire are not going to matter to future people. It's a kind of dying sport. It's not on its way up. It's ridiculous. A lot of that rock and roll memorabilia went the same way, where it was going through the roof for a while. It's not anymore. It's not important to people. To own John Lennon's pants is just a ridiculous thing, right from the word go. Hey, it's been a long time since we heard from him. It's our buddy, the Blowhard. Hey, Blowhard.
If Earl could find it, the original home run call on the San Francisco station, during the home run, the guy's microphone went out.
Is that right?
Yeah. And it's hilarious because this guy probably waited how long to rehearse this call, and right when Bonds hits the home run, the guy's mic goes dead.
Which one did you get? The TV one, Earl?
Try to get the radio.
Yeah, we got the television call.
Now, I know you're somewhat of a collector. You like this kind of stuff, Blowhard. Any interest in Bonds' ball?
No, not at all. I just collect people I like. And the collection is very eclectic. I have a Horace Clarke autographed baseball, Joe Pepitone. I think I have a Duffy Dyer somewhere, a couple of Met autographs in the '69 team. And I just think that this is one of the things that's wrong with baseball. This is like my long list.
Go ahead.
Is that in the old days, we never paid for autographs. You would wait outside the ballpark, and the players would be nice. And now you got guys waiting in line at these card shows, And I think the market has kind of crashed. I'm not an expert, but from what I hear from friends of mine, what was once valued at hundreds and thousands is really dropping fast. And I would never, ever want to pay Reggie Jackson $50 for an 8x10.
I don't even understand it. I can't comprehend it.
It ruined the game, and then you have these parents who are having their kids wait outside the stadium, and it just becomes so mercenary, and it's just like AstroTurf and expansion, and just so many things that ruin the game. Now, this guy should have been shunned when he hit the home run, but it's not like what you said the other day, Ron. He didn't break a record. The record is Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron has the record. Everything else doesn't matter.
And all these idiots in the sports talk and news media, you know, and then you have these people taking shots at Babe Ruth, saying, well, he never played against great black players and stuff.
True.
That's all bullshit, because you had such a small amount of talent. A player pool was so tiny in those days.
Hey, Blowhard.
Nowadays, it's so spread out, and expansion is...
Hey, Blowhard. You remember what the dimensions were in Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium? Down the right field line at Yankee Stadium, you know what the dimensions were? 262.
What's your name?
262 feet. I can hit one out.
It's a chip.
It's a chip shot. So,
Earl, what about Death Valley? What about the monuments in center?
He was a left-handed hitter.
But here's the thing. It only matters with your own time. That's the only thing that you can really go against.
It's a generation of Babe Ruth's time, but it just seems that with Bonds, Earl, you're an apologist for Bonds, and you want to defend him. And a couple of weeks ago, you came on the air and said he's the greatest left-handed hitter in baseball.
No, wait, right. As of right now, he's the greatest
Williams.
left-handed hitter. He's the greatest left-handed home run hitter of all time.
All time.
You said hitter. And Ted Williams, my friend, I would take in a heartbeat over Barry Bonds. Just look at the numbers.
Even now, today, with his head cut off? Yeah.
I would take that head. I'm telling you,
I'm telling you, you take that head, you got a good chance of finishing last.
You don't make players like Ted Williams anymore. The guy went to war. He interrupted his baseball career to fight, and then he came back. Look at his numbers, and then you look at this steroid-taking, arrogant, nasty piece of shit Bonds.
I agree with you, Blowhard, but again, Ted Williams, great player in his time. It's very, very difficult to go outside of times.
No, I
had this Eastside Dave was trying to tell me he could beat Oscar Robertson one-on-one.
Well, that's just Dave being Dave. You know, the games evolve, definitely. And you can't compare maybe a player from the 30s to the player of the 90s or whatever. But it just seems to me that too many people are just stat freaks, and they don't realize that the difference is the fact that, you know, the league was so condensed and the player pool was so small. And you had talent, even up.
Yeah, but wait, let's take that back. Those guys could not. They didn't even work out. They had no nutritional stuff.
Exactly.
They were not. You could take the 27 Yankees, bring them here today, and they would get whipped by any team. Any team.
Well, pretty much it's the same in basketball.
Exactly. So you can't act like that Ruth is better than Bonds, because Bonds, as an athlete, if you put him next to, if you had a time machine, he would be a better athlete than Babe Ruth.
Yeah,
now, the great thing is, for Babe Ruth,
legendary.
If Bonds went back in time, he would not be able to play in that league. So Ruth would still be able to dominate.
Yeah, and sports medicine is so much better now.
Teams. And for his time, he was the greatest player, and he's a legend. And don't forget the fact that he was such a great pitcher.
But you act like that there was a smaller pool. The whole world is coming into play
definitely.
now. You didn't have Latin ball players
I'm
back
attacking the current state of the game, where there's just everything's watered down.
But it's not true, because you didn't have Dominican ball players back in those days. You didn't have Puerto Rican ball players.
The skill level is a lot better now, because you're getting players from all over the world. The top players aren't American anymore.
That's exactly true. America got their ass whipped in that world game.
Oh, they didn't make an effort in that world game. I mean, it was like...
You know what? All you can go by is the score. That's the only thing you can go by. Not the fact we didn't make an effort.
But I will not say that the Japanese are the best baseball players in the world. I'm sorry.
I'm going to tell you right now, though, you could take a Japanese team today, and they would probably beat the 27 Yankees.
Yeah, you know, it's like I said, it's generational. But the whole thing with Bonds is that the guy obviously cheated. It will come out eventually. He's a nasty, ornery, just antisocial, social misfit.
Well, the only thing you can really go, I mean, so is Ty Cobb. So that is not the way I would judge a player. I judge a player by how
No, but I'm talking about the popularity and the fact that the people are cheering this guy, and he's just somebody that, to me...
The hometown cheers him, and if he was a Yankee, you would be cheering him.
That's not true. You could ask any of my friends. I despise Jambi. I despise Sheffield because I just don't like cheaters. I want guys up there...
What did Sheffield do?
To me, the best player of our generation lately has been Ken Griffey Jr., and I would take him in his prime over Bonds. But you don't hear much about the greats play it. You know, you hear Bonds, and even McGuire, when he was going through that whole home run thing.
Griffey was hurt so much, that's why people couldn't stay with him.
Well, that was the problem, but at least you know he was honestly, you know, the guy was practically willing home runs, especially against the Yankees. But I'm not a fan of Jambi. I want Jambi off the team. I want Sheffield out because I don't want this whole steroid thing to tarnish whatever the Yankees accomplish.
All right, well, how do you
and
feel
it's
about
hard
that?
to root for them.
All right, let me run over to Earl. Earl, you're a big fan. How you feel?
Well, the whole thing is, like, for starters, sports medicine is far advanced now than it's ever been, whereas, you know, back in 27, you hurt your arm, you basically didn't play until your arm felt better. Now they can do MRIs.
They didn't even know about nutrition. They were eating steak and potatoes 3 meals a day, too.
I mean, look at even the 50s and Mickey Mantle hanging out with Whitey Ford and Billy Martin at the Copa. Coming to the day games, still, you know, half in the bed.
Do you feel like he was a bad Yankee, too?
The greatest.
Mickey? Doesn't bother you that he did substance?
I don't think that a substance like alcohol is going to enhance your performance like taking some anabolic steroids. I'm sorry.
So it's just about stuff that'll change the game, is all you're saying.
For the better. And
Right.
let's face it, if you get up in the morning, you can make the claim that your cup of coffee is, going to enhance your performance, which probably could be said for most people.
Right.
But that's not the same as sticking a needle and having a head the size of a fucking basketball. And if you look at Bonds, eventually he's going to break down horribly.
Well, what about greenies? Greenies are as old as the game itself. That's a performance. Yeah, that's a performance enhancer.
Where are you on the speed thing, Blowhard?
Oh, it was very common. Definitely, if you read Ball 4, you'll hear all about it.
I know a lot of the 90s. I know still in the 90s guys were doing
Rod,
speed, too. I don't know about today.
But you know about speed. Speed fucks you up. You can't even like write a note when you're speeding.
But if you got 162 games a year, speed has got to help you.
But I don't think it'll make you a better player. You'll be up in that batter's box. You'll be jittery. You'll be shaking. You'll be sweating. That's what speed does.
That's why I don't think they bunt anymore. I don't think anyone has it in them to bunt. All right, Blowhard, I feel like the press is going to leave Bonds alone for a while now.
I got a feeling, too, and I was only hoping that when the Giants came to see the Mets this weekend that he was going to hit the home run here, because I know it would have been a hate fest.
It would have been exciting to see.
It would have been funny just to see it, but if you can find that home run call when the guy's mic goes out, it's hilarious, guys.
All right, buddy.
Have a nice day.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, Blowhard.
Yeah, we got the clip
All right,
where he's waiting for his call, and then everything kind of goes wrong.
Finley runs the payoff pitch, a swing and a drive. Deep
Holy shit. That will drive him crazy the rest of his life. Because that could have been his lifetime call. You know how those guys are only known for 1 or 2 calls.
Yeah, I mean, they all, you know, who was it, Russ Hodges, the 51 Giants call, or Jack Buck. That's the memorable call. They always use the radio call.
Sure.
And the audio drops out.
Hey, Roger, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, how's it going?
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to kind of tune in on what you guys are talking about. A couple things is the guy that well, actually he missed the ball. I believe I'd have caught that ball with my damn teeth.
I agree, too. You got to fucking make that shit. You got to pull that shit in.
Yeah, you can't drop something like that.
Yeah.
And then another thing is, and I'm not sure. I guess it was Blowhard, the guy that was on a minute ago. I'm not downing him or anything, but it's funny to hear people talk, you know, and down Bonds. And I'm not, you know, the biggest Bonds fan in the world, you know, because I live in Georgia. I'm a Braves fan, but I like Bonds. And you know, if he played for the Yankees or if he played for whoever, and all these people that are booing him and, you know, throwing stuff at him, if they were on their team, you know as well as I do that they would be cheering his ass on.
Blowhard claims that he wouldn't. Blowhard claims that even if he was a Yankee all these years, he wouldn't be backing him up. Hey, Steven, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I got a beef with Blowhard here. He's only praising the guys that are trying to fuck up their careers by getting drunk and doing drugs and eating bad. He's praising these guys.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, and I want you to be honest about this. How many people do you think have written better songs because they were on drugs?
Well, you can't tell me John Lennon wasn't fucked up the whole time he was writing.
And, you know, I mean, a lot of it was bad, but a lot of the shit that they wrote on acid, Hendrix, the Beatles,
Dylan.
the Stones, Dylan, that stuff helped their creativity. Now,
sure, but
sooner or later it did hurt their creativity. But do you think Jim Morrison could have wrote the end without doing acid? I find it hard to believe.
Oh, there's no way he would have.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. So where are you on that, Earl? Maybe you should do some no dope radio show where it's people who didn't use drugs.
No, I believe whatever tool you need to be creative. I mean, a perfect example was Lindsey Buckingham. He goes, I would smoke a joint, write a song.
Yeah, well, that goes to show you how it doesn't always work. But we wouldn't have pet sounds without acid. Let's fucking admit that. Let's get that out of the way. Here is Chris. Well, Chris, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How are you?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk to you. You guys are talking about home run hitters and the best left-handed hitter, and what about some of the heart of the game, being an all-around player? You got, Derek Jeter is a good example. He's a great batter. He's one of the best fielders in the game right now.
So what's your point?
We're missing out on what the heart of the game is all about.
I don't feel like Jeter is living in a shadow. I think Jeter is pretty praised today. But when you're talking about statistics, and it's something baseball has done more than any other sport. Now, you'll have it in football where you'll act like the guy who's gained 1,000 yards a season. That used to be a big deal. It's not anymore. But even in football, you can't compare a quarterback today with Terry Bradshaw. It is a different position. Things change. Every era is a little bit different.
Yeah, and the conditions are different now. Let's say someone like a Peyton Manning plays 8 of his games indoors. And in a very controlled environment. And, Peyton Manning can actually call plays or has the opportunity to call some plays. A lot of these guys have never looked out and fucking called the play in their career. It's bizarre when you think about it. Yeah, like even at Johnny Unitas, they said he would never look to the sideline for a play. He knew the plays. Right. He would call it. He would essentially call the game.
But that doesn't mean that he was better. If he played today, he might only get to call a couple.
Yeah.
But at those times, to be the field general would make up for the fact that maybe your arm wasn't as good or your accuracy wasn't as good. It was a guy who could honestly look out there, see the play, and go, we can pick up 3.5 yards off tackle. That's the first down. You don't have that fucking guy anymore. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, even running backs now, it's like you play a lot of games on carpet now. The surface is faster. You can cut better. I mean, you didn't play on muddy tracks or in cold conditions as much as you used to.
They don't need to block anymore. Where the old guys, they had to throw a block every once in a while. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Frank, turn your radio down. Be a person.
I have the radio on.
I can't fucking play with you. Here's Keith. Keith, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't legalize steroids anyway. I mean, in this day and age, with the technology that they have and the doctors that they have in sports medicine, there's no reason why these guys can't use performance-enhancing drugs. I mean, they have the technology to keep it safe for the players, and if it was regulated by the major league, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to do it. I personally don't see how they can call them cheaters. These guys go to GNC stores, stuff like that, and they get these boost things that they use all the time to enhance their play anyway. So what's the difference?
All right, thank you very much. It's an interesting point that you came up with because, number one, I've seen things on TV that said that steroids don't lead to any long-term thing, that they've never had a steroid-related death, that some of the ones that were sold to us is the fact that they were. It's just not true. But the fact that everybody's not doing it. But if you look at baseball, and baseball has always had a place for cheaters. Fucking spitball, working the ball over, corking the bat. beating the fucking play any way you can. So cheating has always been a good part of baseball.
I mean, and if you're going to ban steroids, ban them all. Ban painkillers. I mean, how many players are on cortisone?
True.
You're taking Sheffield's playing on a cortisone shot right now.
So why in the beginning did they not want steroids? That's the weird thing. If not, you would have said, well, you can't compare because everybody's on steroids. But at least now you'd have a champion that everybody believed in.
And the guys they've caught recently, not exactly household names like Ryan Franklin, Matt Lawton.
Right.
Not guys, if steroids specifically enhance performance, I think everybody would be doing it at some point.
Here's Tim. Tim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I think CCR, wrote The Bad Moon Rising and Looking Out the Back Door, all that stuff was good music, and they were very, against the drugs. No alcohol, no drugs, and stuff like that, as far as I know. I mean,
So you're saying if we take the drugs out of rock and roll, Creedence would be the greatest band of all time?
No. I love, the Nirvana and
Sorry, they're out. No, they got drug enhancement. We are trying to find the band with the least drug enhancement all time, and it looks right now like it's Creedence.
I don't think Bruce ever did drugs. They said that on his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, that he didn't do any drugs, and the band wasn't known for drugs. Some drinking, but no drugs.
There's never even been a lot of partying about the E Street Band. There's never been any kind of substance abuse or anything with the E Street Band.
I think keyboardist Danny Federici was like the big partier.
Is that right?
And he almost got kicked out of the band because he was partying a little too much.
God forbid, somebody should have some fun on the tour. Somebody should enjoy themselves and not go off and go praying with the big men. I can't sit in a goddamn lotus position after the show. I need some groupies and some dope. Does that make me somehow un-rock and roll?
No, not at all.
So they actually brought that up in Bruce Springsteen's induction speech? And he never did drugs.
Bono was talking about it, and he's like, they're the most boring band of all time to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No drugs, no sex, or any of this or that. So Bono said, and I think...
Well, they have had sex. I've seen their kids.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I really have a problem with a guy who's a fucking rock star who's not getting his fucking dick sucked, too. I really feel like that's wasting a position that anybody else would take. It's wrong. There's something wrong about it.
Is the Weezer guy still celibate? I think he was supposed to give up after a year and then stayed with it.
Bro, his music sounds celibate. I still don't think he could get balled by anybody but a fucking Chinese girl. That's his only thing. He'll only be with Chinese girls. And I'm like, that's new? Who wouldn't? If I had the opportunity, it'd be nothing but Chinese girls for me. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Buddies, how you doing?
Yeah.
Why don't we just grow players out of the show, right out of the test tube? Or when the time comes and we're able to, why don't we just clone players? I mean, isn't that the... ridiculous extreme once you start enhancing?
Well, the point now, I mean, you don't always need to go in that extreme, but the point is this. Whatever it takes for people. The thing is, an athlete's already unusual to begin with. You don't ever act like an athlete on that level is like your neighbor or the guys that you played ball with. It's a whole different situation. It's a whole different world.
And again, just in sports medicine alone, there's just been so many advancements now. Like, if you break a bone in your leg, they know which specific bone is broken and how to heal it, how many days it'll take to heal it. It's you can't compare the years.
But, we somehow feel like because we've taken a ground ball and thrown a guy out at first, we can understand what Jeter goes through. That's a different species from the rest of us. Jeter lives in a world we never even dreamt of before. We don't even know what it's like.
It's like trying to distinguish a breaking ball from...
Earl, what's going on in there?
I have
Dave?
no idea.
Dave, come on in this room. Come on in this room. Fez doesn't like to talk to things, so Earl becomes more talkative during sports talk.
Sorry.
What are you screaming about in there?
I didn't realize I was screaming.
Like an animal, like you were choking on your mom's cake.
No,
which is a possibility.
Hey, pass that magazine over next to you. I didn't see this. All right, this movie. Believe it or not, I haven't seen any summer movies. I am going to go to the Vince Vaughn, Jennifer Aniston film this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's funny. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Vince Vaughn is an amusing man. He makes me laugh.
No Da Vinci Code? I mean, it was sensational.
You know what? I might say I read the book. I didn't think the book was sensational.
Don't see X-Men.
You're not that. You don't even have to tell me. I'll catch it on cable next summer. You're not going to see the Vince Vaughn thing?
No, I can't really see any movies with Jennifer Aniston. She's not. I don't find her to be a hot chick. I don't think she's sexual.
All right, let me say this. She's not sexual. If you had the opportunity to have sex with Jennifer Aniston, you would not do it.
No, I wouldn't. She's she's too mousy.
You know what? I'm going to start throwing stuff at you for lying. Oh. You come in here and you just try to get a shock thing.
No,
There's not a heterosexual male or a lesbian female who won't tell you that this is a beautiful woman. She is definitely sexual. I'm not saying she's a great actress, but Jennifer Aniston is the piece of ass right now.
She's very plain to me. She doesn't really...
Why is she constantly with movie stars? Why does she get Brad Pitt and Vince Vaughn?
Well, once you become a movie star, that's who you hang out with.
Who did she get? The Counting Crows guy before that.
Everyone got the Counting Crows. All of the friends got the Counting Crows guy.
Okay, Brad Pitt didn't get a lot of ass in his time. Vince Vaughn hasn't.
Adam Duritz?
No one's asking for your help, Dave.
Right.
We're never in a position when we need you to remember something. Earl, what am I going to do with him? He's saying he wouldn't be with Jennifer Aniston.
I think he's crazy. I would definitely be with Jennifer Aniston.
How could you not?
How could you not?
Yeah. Hey, look who it is. It's our buddy Paranoid. Hey, Perry.
Hi, Ron and Fez and Earl and Dave and the whole crew. How are you guys?
Now, Perry, right away I got an email saying that you're once again closing down the Cosmic Circus.
Yeah. This time it's probably for real. And
what happened?
It'll probably be gone this week. It's just I've been doing it so long, and then it's just starting to cost a lot of money because so many people are downloading.
So you got too successful.
What's that? Yeah, we gotta break the band up when it gets too big.
I understand.
I don't think Ted Nugent. I was gonna say I heard Pink Floyd never did any drugs except for the Syd Barrett guy.
Well, Syd Barrett did enough for England. Actually, he ate enough acid for England. But I don't think the rest of them were big into drugs.
No, and I don't think Ted Nugent ever did drugs.
His music sounds like he didn't. So, again, that shows you what happens when you don't. Now, I understand he wants to run for governor, the Nuge.
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, I think the Nuge wants to run for governor of Michigan, I believe.
I hope he gets it. I really do.
Are you guys watching the new show Supergroup?
No, I got to tell you the truth, I'm not.
Did that start already?
Yeah, I'm watching it, and I have to watch it because I started watching it, but it's just absolutely infuriating because just everyone, Ted Nugent is really one of the most annoying people of all time. True.
Don't like him at all?
No, I don't like the big fucking cat scratch fever.
You don't like the sweaty Teddy attitude? You don't like the fact that he stalks and kills his own food?
I don't think most people can name one Ted Nugent song besides Cat Scratch Fever. No, I mean, he's not a good musician.
What about Wango Tango? That's fucking nothing for you?
Stranglehold?
Stranglehold, see? These mean nothing to Joe Q Public. But Joe Q Public. But
he's had his fans. He's had a long career, and he tours every summer.
He seems like a real big one-hit wonder to me.
Dude.
He still tours every summer. You got to give him that.
When did John Q Public change his name?
But where does he tour? I mean, yeah, he might tour Detroit theaters with a capacity of 100 people.
No, he plays big summer venues. He really does. What about Damn Yankees? That was a big band.
No
yes,
way.
it was.
The
Damn Yankees was huge.
That sold without
for like
MTV.
6 months in 1983.
So it was more like an 88, 89, but it went around for a while. You're acting like you know facts and you never do. That's what always gets you in trouble.
Ted Nugent was a really big star for a long period of time, or was he just, a sort of star for a short year, and then he never wrote another again?
His career goes back to the mid-'60s.
Yeah,
the Amboy Duke.
But that's the point. And no one heard of Ted Nugent in the mid-'60s.
Yeah, the Amboy Dukes were a famous band there, but that's a 40-fucking-year career.
Fuck Ted Nugent? That seems impossible to me. He came out in what? I mean, for real, Ron. He came out in 1975 or 76 with Cat Scratch Fever.
Even if we're going to go there, that's a 30-year career. Nothing to be ashamed of.
What's he done in the last 20 years?
Toured and sold and played with the damn Yankees.
But to me...
Animals.
And he's still on TV.
When's the last hit he's had then?
Why do you fucking need a hit? What is your thing? What are you, fucking mass appeal radio? He appeals to the people who like him.
He's working on his what? This is his second reality show. Most people don't get one.
It shows that he's a has-been. That's all it shows.
What's your point about has-beens? You're a big Who fan. When's their last fucking hit? That's not what it fucking takes. Is there still a market for the Who?
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same thing with him. It's not as big as the Who, but it exists for him.
If you're going to be a big star, you have to have a minimum of 5 huge songs.
There's no that's a fucking lie. That's not true at all. That is if you're driven by radio, but a lot of people aren't. Tom Waits doesn't have 5 huge songs. He's had a 30-year career. He's got his market.
But Tom Waits has had critically hailed albums. I mean, I don't really know exactly
his fans, Nugent's fans, like his stuff. You're not one of them.
You're doing it both ways, Dave. You're saying you have to have 5 big commercial hits and critically acclaimed albums.
Well, no, I'm just saying, okay, fine. If you don't have the hits, then at least come up with albums like...
All right, just stop it. I can't let you talk if you're not going to think. You can either think or you can be... Look, you're holding your own head. You're fucking lost. You get yourself into shit you can't get out of.
I just don't think Ted Nugent is any legend in rock and roll.
There's no reason. I want you to understand something, Dave.
Okay.
There should never be a show where you talk more than Fez.
Okay.
That has got to stop. I'm getting emails about it every day. Let me go back to Perry. You sit there quietly and think.
Rub your temples.
Perry.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. No matter what, I want you to keep sending your stuff to us, all right? And come see us sometime.
Oh, absolutely. And just one quick question.
Yeah.
Who turned who onto drugs? Didn't the Beatles turn Elvis onto drugs or...
I heard that Dylan turned the Beatles onto drugs. I don't think Elvis got drugs from Dr. Nick, though.
And according to Walk the Line, Elvis gave Johnny Cash drugs.
They're all junkies. All right, guys.
See you later.
See ya.
Everybody's a junkie. Let's not make a big deal out of it.
Elvis has these great pills. You ought to take some.
Here's Reg. Reg, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I miss Dave Free Thursdays. I got 2 rockers for you that never took any drugs. Frank Zappa and Dick Dale. Never took a drink or any drugs.
Thank you very much. A lot of people didn't. But a lot of great music was written on drugs. You cannot take that away. You can't Barry Bonds all those people.
It's like Mr. Tamarine Man by Dylan. I mean, he had a few unlabeled cigarettes right in that one.
Ray, you're on Ron and Fez.
The dude who was talking about Ted Nugent isn't one of the a big star.
That's Dave.
Well, he's a fucking retard in the first place because you have to realize the man has had so many hits, and of course you mentioned Damn Yankees. That's one of the greatest bands of the 80s. You can't actually say that's not one of the greatest bands of the 80s.
Dave doesn't know it. For being a guy in radio, doesn't realize what a mass band that was. And I'm talking about playing really big outdoor shows, too, Dave.
Well,
Did you know he was in Damn Yankees?
No, I have heard of the musical. I thought you guys were talking about the Broadway musical for a second. I was like,
we weren't.
Nice career choice.
Joy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I gotta yell at Dave for this. Dave, I'm at work, so I can't really yell. You are a fucking retard, okay?
I like the voice.
Ted Nugent is not a huge rock star. I'm on his website right now. He's doing a huge summer tour.
He's going to be huge on his own fucking website.
All right, hold on. Where is he playing this summer?
Where is he playing
Our people should have looked that up, too.
Hold on. I'm on his website right now, and I'm looking. He's on tour, actually, right now. He's been on tour since May 25th. He's in Germany playing stadiums with Bon Jovi.
Yeah, Germany. There you go. Great.
Listen,
they like anybody. They like Hasselhoff,
No,
Judy.
come on. You gotta be
so
fucking
you want to
cool.
talk about America? Let's talk about in July when he comes to Baltimore and Virginia and South Carolina and Florida.
But he has done a summer tour like this forever, Dave. There's a market for him.
He's playing by himself.
that
I mean,
guy
Bon
before me-
Jovi's huge. Bon Jovi's going to get 90% of the audience.
But he's on tour with Bon Jovi. You've got to be a big act to be invited on tour with Bon Jovi. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's one of the top 10 acts of all time. I'm saying you got to respect the guy for having that piece of the market and being there for a long time.
No, Bon Jovi's probably just throwing him a bone because they like Cat Scratch Fever back in '78.
Why would Bon Jovi do that?
Bands do it all the time, Fez. Like, for instance, Smashing Pumpkins put Cheap Trick on as their opener.
Cheap Trick is another big band. They've been around for a long time.
No problem with Cheap Trick. No problem with them. Although I think they only have 2 songs. But at least I know 2 songs.
They have 2 songs. Listen, Dave, the day you can have an argument with Earl about music, Earl should punch you in the teeth right now.
You should.
You are a pathetic moron. They allow you to speak. They should throw you out of the studio because you're an oxygen thief.
All right, thank you very much.
I've never stolen anything in my life, Judy.
Yeah, you are. You've stolen time from us. You've taken our time.
Well, the other part is, like, mainly in Europe, they'll take an established name out to fill the place because established stars are still very big in Europe. I remember Lenny Kravitz he brought Robert Plant to open for him in Europe because Robert Plant's a big star. Even though Robert Plant hadn't had a hit in a couple of years, you bring established people out.
The guy has his market. He's done very, very well for it. He deserves the respect of that. No matter if you like his music, if you like his politics, doesn't matter. Ted Nugent is a name. He definitely is.
He's a name like Bananarama's a name, as far as I can tell.
That doesn't even make sense. Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Dave. Fucking Nugent rocks, dude. Journey to the Center of Your Mind.
I don't know that song before.
You don't? But that doesn't mean that you know everything, Dave. You know fucking Jersey Rock.
That's a big hit. Journey to the Center of the World? We've never heard of that song before. This is the point, people.
David, you're on Ron and Fez.
You redheaded twat. I don't care who you are. If you are in a supergroup, you're a star. If it's Power Station, if it's Damn Yankees, you're a star.
He's got a very good point there, that you got to have some amount of respect, no matter what you think of the guy's music itself. It's like if you make it to the NFL, you can start screaming at people, well, he hasn't had the career O.J. Simpson had. He didn't have the career Emmitt Smith did. He made it to the fucking NFL. You got to admit, Nugent is a pro, and he's been there for a long, long time.
I just think he's a really overrated one-hit wonder who's sort of conned the rest of the people because he stayed in the public eye for so long talking his, I'm going to kill animals and stuff game. But musically, he's contributed jack and shit.
Sean, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Dave, you're an idiot. Just look up Ted Nugent's discography online and you'll see a definite answer. If you're willing to admit Cheap Trick, what do they got, 3 albums?
Cheap Trick have Surrender and... You can't always...
I'm not going to have you go through it, seriously.
Okay.
Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I want to bitch at Dave. What's wrong with Dave, you retard?
Okay.
That's it, Mark?
5 hits off the top of my head. How about Journey to the Center of the Mind, Great White Buffalo, Wango Tango, Stranglehold, Threadbare? What do you mean one hit?
Never heard of it.
Retard?
Never heard of 4 of those songs.
Retard.
I heard of Wango Tango.
They all got radio play.
Stranglehold.
Yes.
I bet you it's $2. It's not even in Delette. Earl, was Stranglehold? Again, and it was all about theatrics. I saw something on a special where Ted Nugent was swinging over the crowd in a Tarzan costume.
Yeah, but he did that 30 years ago. I mean, he's been doing that a long time.
What type of queer rock and roll shit is that? People don't like that.
The stage show has always been part of the rock and roll thing. It has always been.
This is Stranglehold?
Break out your money. Get out that
You
fucking
fucking
said it wasn't in Delette.
Who wrote this song? Stillwater?
I put up with your Ted Nugent shit.
Right.
Make another disparaging remark about the almost famous film, and I'll lose my fucking mind, Dave.
No, I love that movie. That's what
Do
I'm
not
saying.
put down Stillwater.
This sounds like he ripped it off from Stillwater.
Where do you think Stillwater got their sound? From the fucking 70s sound, right? Foghat, Nugent, that's who they were doing.
Allman Brothers.
Listen to the music, not the fucking poses. Hey, Elmer, you're on Ron and Fez.
Dave, you motherfucker, you. You're calling Ted Nugent a fucking queer, and you're the one fucking around with goddamn puppets?
Puppets
True.
are gay.
Good point.
What are you talking about?
That's a good point.
I don't wear a furry loincloth.
Elmer, very good point.
Swinging over men.
When you just got your new fucking puppet, you were making out with the goddamn thing for 3 minutes into getting it. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a very good point.
It was a manly kiss. I mean, for Christ's
It
sake.
was a very good point.
Ted Nugent has sold over 40 million albums.
40 million.
That can't be right. Who said that?
Fez did. That's where you fucking heard it from, Fez.
That was as of March 2006. He has sold 40 million records. How many have you and Jivey sold?
Jivey's not real. Thanks, Elmer. I have 40 million ought to fucking give you a little bit of appreciation of what the guy's done with his career.
Not really. I mean, one-hit wonder bands, they do that all the time. They sell huge
How
amounts.
is get him! Out! All right, Dave is down. There is a red-headed stepchild down, and Ronnie is putting the boots to him.
Oh.
Classic.
I'm willing to discuss anything, but to hear when Fez gives him the 40 million, and then he goes back into, any one-hit wonder band, it just drives me crazy. Dave, get out.
I'd stay down if I were you.
You know what I had to do is make him finish his mom's cake.
Ew.
Made him eat the rest of that.
That's just mean. I know you don't agree with him on some things.
Fucking roadkill. It drives me crazy when you're trying to have a discussion and the guy won't give up a point. 40 million should have ended it. And you owe Earl $2 right now. Give him $2 for going into Dillette.
For Stranglehold. Nice work, Earl. Nice work, Dillette.
And I can't believe I live in a world where I have to defend Ted Nugent. For years I've done nothing but bitch about him. But you can't take away that's acting like, well, Adam West never had a TV show. It just doesn't make sense to have the debate.
We got tour dates here. I mean, he's playing Germany, Switzerland, Spain, England, Finland, and then throughout the United States. He's pretty much playing every major market in the United States.
And it's happened that way every summer forever. Forever. Just exist.
Yeah, you don't do it every year and play in the empty houses. Somebody
He's got a market. The governor of Michigan has found a niche for himself. As well as the fact that he's still getting TV shows year after year. Oh, fucking drives me crazy. I just
Dave,
would like to have a discussion every once in a while that made sense.
And Dave just gave me 42 cents to cover the $2.
No, motherfucker. You go to your ATM right now and take out $2. You owe $2. Take off that Radiohead shirt and give it to Earl then. That's a $2 shirt.
Give him the cake recipe.
Johnny, did you eat any of his mom's cake? Did you taste that cake?
Yeah, boss. I've had better stuff than holding cells, man.
Oh, no, you didn't.
No more cake.
Line of the day.
No more cake. No more
Line
cake
of the day.
No more cake.
No.
He's
no,
threatening
Dave.
us.
No, Dave.
And
Not
you know
that.
what? No more cake for anybody.
Not that, Dave. I've had better stuff than holding cells, boss. Beautiful, Johnny. That's why you're my favorite.
God, tasting that cake, I thought we finally found Roberto.
Fez, you're not going to beat Johnny's line. I know that you want to see yourself as the new Johnny.
The clock's ticking.
It's not going to happen for you. All right, what's on TV tonight? We got basketball?
Yeah, we got some basketball tonight. We got Game 4 of the Suns-Mavs going on. Right now, that Dallas leads 2-1.
2-1. I hate to say it, but I got to give Dallas a lot of props there. Strong second half the other night. You know my big problem with Dallas, Fez. My big problem.
What's that?
They killed JFK. Does that mean anything?
Yes.
Little John had to grow up without a dad, with a fucking Greek as his dad. So I can't get behind them. But I got to give them a lot of respect in the Sun series. The Suns are in a must game. They must win this game. It's a must win for the Suns right now.
It's at Phoenix.
And my Detroit Pistons that I picked, forget about it. Dave, as soon as he came over to my side the other day, that trashed it for me. It was ruined from that point on.
They got to go back to Detroit now, Earl?
Yes, we got to go back to Detroit and either lose in front of their fans or
I hope the Motor City Madman, Ted Nugent, is there to cheer him on. That's what I would love to see.
Got to call for the governor.
We are also ready to get into World Cup soccer or football, as it's known everywhere but here. Every bar in New York has a sign saying that the games are going to be up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Darren in England said that he would give us some upgrade stuff. Now, I'm going to root for the United States of America. Fez is a big Brazil guy because that's where his family's from. And also, he's a front runner. He became a Bucks fan the second they went into the playoffs.
Always.
Second they went in the playoffs, you bought your Bucks jersey. But I got to tell you, I'm U.S. first, but I would like to see David Beckham win, too. If it's not us, I would not mind seeing England win this. What about for you, Earl?
Gotta go
One of
with
the African nations?
They got to go with the USA.
After the USA, though.
I like Brazil. Brazil's pretty much been solid all year. And
Brazil reminds me of the Harlem Globetrotters. They just seem like they're so far above everybody else in ball handling.
I always have a fondness for Germany for some reason. Once this thing gets started.
Oh, that's the anti-Jew thing.
Oh, I knew it came from somewhere. They actually look like they goose step out there. Like they look like they are their nationality. It's kind of a skinhead thing. Where Brazil, you got long-haired players. It's a little bit more high-flying. The Germany team looks a little bit more efficient. Almost like it's marching down a field.
So you love the no fun guys, huh?
I like the efficiency of it. I think I like the cleanness of it.
Well, it's all home for Germany this year. If ever there was a year, it's going to be this one. So I think we're starting when? Next week? Starts us like June 6th?
Yeah, I think so.
And then it runs for like a month?
And those games will be on XM.
A month of excitement. Fez, you and I should be calling one of these games, but not from over there, just from watching our TV and sitting at home. That we could put one on the TV here and just call it, and we'll just be like this. One guy kicks to the other guy, kick back. There's a kick, and it went in the net. 1-0.
No, Scotland didn't make it in. I like to cheer for Scotland if they ever get in it. They didn't make the cut this time around.
Hey, Dave, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Dave, once, twice, lost you, buddy. Here's Scott. Scott, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
I just wanted to say, last week with the deal with Mikey D and Dave, I was like on his side, Dave's side, but, it doesn't take long. Dave, all he has to do is open up his mouth and you just hate the fucking moron. I say we get rid of him, put Bronx Johnny in his spot, because Bronx Johnny rules.
Bronx Johnny got off what I believe the line of the day, and I would like to see a new Bronx Johnny's line of the day lined up at one of the websites. That would be terrific. All right, by the way, look on TV. The girl that has no sexuality at all is on CNN. And she just reeks sexuality. And I guess Jennifer Aniston's naked in this new movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll be there on Monday or Friday. All right, that's it for us, guys. Have a good one. We're back in here tomorrow after O&A. Take care. See ya!
Ron and Fez. XM 202.